All right, my name is Daymian Bartek, Town Clerk for the Town of Northborough. I'd like to call the Select Board meeting for Monday, May 18th, 2026 to order at 6:31 p.m. This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the provisions of the open meeting law and is being streamed and live recorded. Before we begin, I will state the members of the Select Board who are present in the room. Julianne Hirsch.
Here.
Michael Tejan.
Here.
Jonathan Ray.
Here.
Leslie Rattan.
Here.
Jeff Osterguy.
Here.
The first order of business is the reorganization of the Select Board. At this time, I will open the floor for nominations for the Chair of the Select Board.
I would like to nominate Mike Tejan as chair.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay.
I would like to nominate John Ray as chair.
Second.
Okay. Take the first vote. For Michael? Any more nominations? No? All right, take the first vote for Michael. Leslie? Jeff?
I thought we were doing roll call.
Oh, roll call. Leslie?
Yes.
Mike? Jeff, sorry.
No.
Julianne?
No.
Mike?
Aye.
Jonathan?
No.
Okay. Second for Jonathan, you said? I apologize. Jonathan, yes. Okay, roll call. Leslie?
No.
Mike? Jeff? Oh, my goodness, Jeff, sorry.
It's all right, new guy. Yes.
Julianne?
Yes.
Mike?
No.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Okay. It is.
Wait, can I say something?
Yes.
I just want to say thank you for the nomination. And I'm going to just be really clear. And I think that what's important to me is that we're doing this as like a board. And we're all going to have things that are important to us. And we're going to have things we want to do. But I really want to do it as a board. And I believe that we can all have a voice and we can all be part of it together. And it's really important to me because we have some diversity in our views and our experiences. And I'm really hopeful of the things that we can achieve. And I'll hold myself accountable to it, and you hold me accountable to it as well.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I'll turn the meeting over to the newly appointed chair. Congratulations.
Do you want to switch places?
Either tags or places, I don't have a preference.
Okay.
If there's,
All right, since I'm all scattered all over here, if you don't mind.
yeah, this is fine with me. All right, so wasn't prepared for this. What in terms of like, where do I start with the?
So now you're gonna have to take a vote for the vice and then the clerk.
Yes. I would like to nominate Mike Tejan as vice chair.
Second.
I appreciate that, John. Thank you. I would accept the nomination as vice chair.
Roll call vote.
Yeah.
There we go.
Don't you need a second?
We got a second.
We got it.
We got a second.
did.
Thank you for
Yeah.
checking. But I vote aye.
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 All in favor?
All in favor.
So Mike, vice, and then the clerk. So you just say, does somebody want?
I'd like to nominate Julianne for clerk.
I'll accept.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor of Julianne for clerk?
You-
Aye.
Aye.
you roll call? Okay. All right, good, we got them all. Let's see, so now, John, you're gonna read the motion to go into executive session, and then we're gonna leave, so you people don't have to leave.
So of all the paper,
Oh, sorry, do you have the motion?
Can I ask something though?
Yeah,
Mr. Bowler's on this one?
Yes,
Is he the person?
yes, for executive session.
Page 4.
page 4.
Yeah, Angie's given him a link.
Okay, great, thank you.
oh, good, okay.
It's gonna be,
But how can we do that?
oh,
Oh, okay, great.
At this time, I'd like to move that we go into executive sessions. At this time, the board will enter into executive session pursuant to M.G.L. Chapter 30A, Section 21A6, to discuss the value and/or disposition of real property located at 4 West Main, as an open meeting may have detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the town. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. This vote will be taken by roll call as required. Roll call vote. Leslie?
Aye.
Jack?
Aye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Motion carries. We will enter into executive session. We'll return to open session following its conclusion.
Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go into a conference, just so we don't have to move
Yeah,
everybody.
just so we don't-
Okay, here. And then Angie will have a,
This is a lot of mini space here.
little
We'll
laptop.
find out.
Is it safe to leave papers?
Oh, yeah.
What do we take with us?
Yes,
Just take your executive session.
I think,
Oh, yeah, that's,
Angie, Diane, if we just take this, are we okay?
yes, yeah,
This?
you're fine.
Right? And then oh, we're sharing, right?
Yes.
Town
Sharing this?
Session is now 7:25 PM. In point of order, for the motions, we'll just want to just take them as down the line. We don't have any assignments on the motions for the members, so we can just take them select board member by select board member.
Sure. Oh, good.
Diane, did we have any changes to the meeting minutes where we aren't doing all of them, or do we have all three meeting minutes from April 6th, 9th, and 10th?
Angie, the meeting minutes?
Yeah, okay, so your agenda will show, the agenda that has the amendments in yellow and green, that's what you want to go by, so, yes, April 6th, April 9th, and April 10th.
Well, actually, can the two new board members vote on approving the minutes?
Well, they can't, they
We can't.
abstain.
So, should I make the motion?
Please.
If you'd like to, I'd second it.
I move that the board vote to approve the meeting minutes of April 6th, 9th, and April 10th, 2026 as presented.
Second.
I move that the board vote to approve the meeting minutes. So you made the motion?
I made the motion and it's been seconded, so,
Aye. Roll call vote.
yeah. Aye.
Joanne?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
I'm an aye.
Okay.
Was that for all of them?
That was
Yes.
for all.
Okay, good.
For all.
Yep.
We need
Yep.
to abstain now?
And we'll just note that
We need to
Jeff and Leslie abstain.
Are we hitting public comment?
Is that on the agenda?
Yeah.
Any public comment? Name and address, please.
Yeah, Jeff Anderson, 260 Green Street. My comment goes back a little bit. The board, I'm not sure when they start over. Jeff Anderson, 260 Green. Years ago, and up until fairly recently, and I don't know the exact date, the board used to do the Pledge of Allegiance before the start of each meeting. I'm not sure why we got away from that. I know our schools do it, our elementary schools, the high school does it. We do it before town meeting. And I'm wondering if the board could get back to that and perhaps have a discussion to reinstitute that. Takes about, according to Google, takes about between 15 and 20 seconds. It's 31 words, but I think it's a great way to start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing? Jorge Ruiz, 268 Whitney Street. I just wrote down some stuff here, so I'll just read it. Thank you for allowing me to speak for a few moments today. I want to start by thanking you all for the job and the enormous responsibility you have taken on. I can only imagine it's often difficult and thankless and a stressful role, one that not many people are willing to take on. I felt compelled to come here today to address some of the actions taken by this board over the past year, specifically regarding the treatment of our town employees. For background, I've lived in Northborough since 2004, when my wife and I bought our first home here. We have raised a family here, and we have loved being part of the community here. My wife makes fun of me. I watch her meeting all the time, and I was a little dismayed at some of the actions that have gone on. Over the years, I've encouraged friends and family members to move to Northborough because I've always found it to be a warm and welcoming community. I was particularly disturbed by the actions of a former board member whose conduct appeared to be, at least on the surface, fiscally responsible, but it was more self-serving in nature. The manner in which it was carried out was completely inappropriate. Employees of this town are the most important asset in any organization. They make an organization, or in this case, municipality, function effectively and efficiently. I have had nothing but positive interactions with every member of the town's departments. I'm not saying they're perfect, but I do believe they work very hard and they do a good job. I also believe the voters spoke loudly in this last election. I hope this board will help restore decency, respect, and how its issues are addressed moving forward. You are viewed as town leaders, and with that comes a responsibility to lead accordingly. The golden rule should apply here. Treat others the way you would want to be treated, or the way you'd want a family member to be treated. Please remember, we, the constituents, elected you to conduct the town's business, not to carry out personal agendas. And we expect people to be treated fairly, respectfully, and professionally. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bob Light, 48 Emerson Road. I'm with the Historical Commission and a member of the Northborough Revolution 250 Committee. 250 years ago, June 3rd, 1776, Northborough voted to support independence, which was 1 month ahead of the July 4th Declaration of Independence. And in celebration of that, the Northborough Revolution 250 Committee is having a major event this year on May 30th from 10 to 3 at the Ellsworth McAfee Park. It's our big Colonial Faire. And I just want to make everyone aware of it and to talk it up. We expect to have a large turnout. We're going to have, besides the Northborough Minutemen, we're going to have the Hubbardston Militia and the Sudbury Militia doing demonstrations. We have 3 cannon cannon companies that are going to be doing demonstrations. We have arts and fairs, arts and crafts. We have colonial music, colonial dance, vendors and food, and it's going to be a great time for everyone. So we hope you all can attend. Thank you.
Should Mr. Light stay because we're on number 4?
Welcome.
Oh,
Yeah, because you're asking for the liquor license, right?
Yes, I'm going to come back.
Okay.
Okay,
Actually, we have-
which is next on our agenda, so that's
We have
good.
someone from the vendor that should be online,
Oh,
and I'm just going to be here to answer questions.
oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry.
Is that person on right now?
yeah.
Yeah, is that Jason?
Jason?
Oh, yeah, I see.
Okay, thank you.
Any other public comment from the room or online? All right, recommend we close public comment. Next on the agenda, we have consideration of a special one-day alcohol license for the Revolution 250 Colonial Fair, a discussion and possible vote.
I believe someone from,
Sirloin.
Jason, I think from Sirloin, is on the line, and he's the vendor.
Angie, do you have to unmute him?
Yeah, just ask them that.
Okay.
Hi.
Just to start, that Sirloin will be, does have a 12C liquor license. The members of the committee met with the police chief and Scott Charpentier and Ally Lane. And we toured the site. We selected the site where the beer garden would go. Everyone seemed to be in agreement. Police chief also, police chief
Jason,
Griffin.
Jason, keep going mute while it's being presented, unless you have something to say. Thanks.
Police Chief Griffin also mentioned that he's going to have 2 uniformed officers at the event.
Leslie,
What is this setup as far as where the beer garden would be? What did you decide on?
It's going to be actually on the basketball court,
Oh,
right next to the gazebo where most of the events are going to be held. It's going to be far away from the cannon, which is good. And we're going to, there'll be a roped-off area for, we really don't expect too much activity at the beer garden, but we do have a lot of food trucks as well that are all going to be in the same area. The food trucks are going to be along the walking path, and it'll be very close to the basketball court.
also, I do want to apologize. If it wasn't for my college reunion, I would be there. I'm very bummed about that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure there'll be videos.
I
Yeah.
hope so, yeah.
And they'll have a beer garden there too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, I have a question. Sometimes when we approve these licenses, there's like people who, who are served get a band, or there's an area that they have to stay in.
We've been told, though, we should rope off an area where, so you can't walk around the grounds with beer. So you
Okay.
can only drink beer in one area. I think that everything went into the application. There's a certificate of liability insurance and a Serve Safe alcohol awareness advanced certificate that we have. And I believe there may be a few items that are still being gathered for the application.
A few, yeah.
Leslie?
Also, too, real quickly, if I recall from past one-day licenses, there has to be certain signage in the area that indicates very clearly that patrons can't take the alcohol outside that roped area.
Yes.
Okay,
We'll coordinate with Sirloin as to who's going to do that. But
Okay.
we're already prepared to rope off an area where the cannon are, so we'll be able to rope off the area
okay.
around. The only thing, I just don't know exactly the setup, how many tables or chairs are going to be there around the beer truck, but
Okay.
we'll make sure the area is set.
Thank you.
aside.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, but it sounds like you've got, ducks in a row and everything is lined up, so that's good. Just kind of curious what will be poured, and I assume Sam Adams will be there. I mean, that kind of fits, right?
I'd have to ask Jason. I don't know. I hope so.
Thanks.
And I guess a question for Jason. Jason, it sounds like there is some lagging paperwork that you have most of the most important stuff in. Are you clear on what you need to do to make sure you can meet the requirements?
Yeah, well, I should have all that stuff by tomorrow. Anything that you need, we'll have furnished by tomorrow, and then we can go.
Now, that will include the site plan as to what tables or chairs you're going to have in the area and how much of an area you need. And then we can then coordinate the beer area, and we'll put up roping or something.
Any other questions from the board?
So you could take a vote pending we receive the
Yeah, I think
outstanding documentation.
Motion, just waiting for the site plan. I'll make sure we'll get copies of what Bob has. So this will be pending the site plan, a copy of the 12C, and then that's all we need. We'll be good. And then a final inspection by the fire chief and the police chief, once the coding and everything is put up.
So I'm sorry, Angie, could you repeat, on top of the interim fire chief and chief of police final approval, what was the extra piece?
So I just want a copy of their 12C caterer's license from the Alcohol Beverage Commission. And then we need a site plan
Okay.
of where the truck will be, where it's gonna be roped off, if there's gonna be, picnic tables and
Okay.
tables to lay out.
Perfect, thank you. You got it right the first time, I wasn't paying close enough attention. Mr. Chair, if you'd like a motion, I move that the Select Board vote to approve a special one-day liquor license for the Revolution 250 Colonial Faire, sponsored by the Northborough Revolution 250 Committee, to be held on Saturday, May 30th, 2026, with approved hours including setup from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., with a rain date of Sunday, May 31st, 2026, pending final approval by the interim fire chief and chief of police, also pending a copy of their 12C catering license and a site plan.
Second?
Roll call vote. Mike?
Aye.
Joanne?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Leslie?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. And I look forward to Mike buying me a beer.
All right.
Next order of business, request to dedicate the Northborough Community Gardens in memory of Michelle, hope I get this right, it's Michelle Cilley?
Yes.
Did I have it correct? Thank you. Discussion and possible vote.
Just for background, M.G.L was a long-standing employee of the town of Northborough, and sadly, she passed away a couple of months ago. And she was always in the planning department, or?
No, she was in the rec
Rec
department
rec
for
department
years.
first, and then in our planning department. Yeah.
So my understanding is that when she was working at the rec department, that's where you got your community garden permit. And according to Ally, she would talk garden talk with everyone and kind of follow up with the people getting their gardens. So I think this is well-deserved.
Scott Charpentier, Public Works Director. I know Ally's not here. She has a family commitment. Yeah, M.G.L was with the town for a long time. Unfortunately, we lost her way too early. She was an avid gardener her entire life. I know her family from Upton. I've been to her house. She has beautiful gardens. She shepherded the whole Northborough Community Gardens program and project. I think it would be a wonderful thing. And the Rec Commission voted unanimously on May 5th to support the renaming to the M.G.L Cilley Community Gardens.
Any further discussion from the board? Where is the community gardens again?
It's on Valentine?
It is, right?
It's on Valentine Road.
Yep, that's right.
We just put in a little DPW. We just put in some a compost bins and loam bins there, so the users of the gardens don't have to bring the stuff and hide it in the woods and the like. So it'll be a little easier for them to use. It's very popular. We expanded it, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. There's a waiting list for the gardens. They're nice little raised beds and they're enclosed. So it's a good area for people to garden where they don't have the opportunity in their homes.
Do you have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move that the Select Board vote to dedicate the Northborough Community Gardens in memory of M.G.L Cilley as presented.
Second.
Second. Yeah.
Roll call vote. Mike?
Aye.
Julianne?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Wesley?
Aye.
I'm an aye. Motion passes. Next order of business, Northborough Cultural Council, consideration of permissions for installation of the seasonal panels at Town Hall and installation of the apples at various town buildings, discussion and possible vote.
Hi,
Hello.
Karen.
Hello, everybody. I'm Karen Clark, 68 Little Pond Road. I am the current chair of the Northborough Cultural Council. We are, I think you should all have a handout with our 2 Cultural Council public art projects that were funded through the ARPA funds. We are at the point where we are finishing. We have received quite a bit of artwork back from the chosen artists, and we are looking to enter into the installation phase. So the first being the Seasons panel. This is a mural of 4 4x8 foot Ebon board panels that was done by artist Melissa Pandina, who we had chosen through a call to artists. And the plan for the placement is on the side of Town Hall. So the first picture you see is her finished artwork that is currently in my garage. And the second picture is a mock-up. So you can kind of get a vision of what that would look like on the side of Town Hall. The panels will be installed in a frame so that they can be moved out should need be. The vision had been to install those on the side of Town Hall. So that's our first project that we're looking to get approval for.
These are the actual panels?
The ones on the first pic, though, this was the mock-up that was
Yeah.
done for our call to artists.
Okay.
The front picture here is the finished product from the artist that we selected through our call to artists. That's our first project. The second,
And then just
Oh,
on the
sorry.
Town Hall piece, where would they be located? On the side?
on
or-
the side, this is kind of on the walkway coming down from the side door to the parking lot.
Got it, thank you.
That is the first one we're looking to get approval to, so that we can move on to get the installation happening. The second project is our Apples Around Town project, these are going to be a total of 10. These are fiberglass half apples that they're basically 2 foot tall. We had them manufactured by our wonderful boat restorer down in Uxbridge. And there is one apple that anybody can see at any point in time that's currently at Town Hall. That was a beautiful piece that we've been so pleased with. But currently, I have 6 apples at my house being varnished and clear-coated. And we're looking to get those installed around town. The last page you see is what we, from meetings with Stephanie and with Scott, came up with a list of public buildings that we would like to install them on the building or around the grounds from the building. So what I'm looking for tonight is approval to enter the installation phase, to get our installers, with the panels, Sign Logic, the company that made the E-bond boards, and that they have the hardware for the frame, is going to be the installer. And then the apples, we've got some names of people that we're reaching out to, but I'm just trying to we're getting to that next point, that we're ready to get that artwork up. And that picture there is again, a mock-up that we sent out with the call to artists, so that the artists could kind of visualize what it would look like on a building, or if we're going to use stakes to put it in the ground.
I have a question.
Certainly.
So will there be any kind of like plaque?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The Cultural Council plans on putting plaques at each of these art installations to reference the artist, if they have a name for their apple, and also with the Cultural Council's logo and Mass Cultural Council's logo, since we're part of Mass Cultural Council.
And what about this? Will it say Seasons of Northborough somewhere?
There'll be we plan on putting a plaque next to that as well.
Are these, sorry.
Sorry, I was gonna say, are these permanent, or are they gonna be removed in the winter, or they stay up all year?
She did say that they are removable.
Yes.
So you could, what they're behind, you could actually pull it out and redo a painting.
Yeah, the frame for the Seasons of Northborough panels, it's a frame so that these panels can be slid out from the frame.
Okay.
And the materials that were used are basically outdoor, it's outdoor paint. And the E-bond boards did not need any kind of finishing coat according to the manufacturer of these products. The apples were following the fiberglass constructors' recommendations. We're using, outdoor clear coat varnish and then a clear coat to hopefully withstand weather.
Yeah, it's funny because they look like they may have some weight to them, but when she was dropping one off at Town Hall, I happened to be getting my packet and helped her move it in, and I'm like, oh, this is fairly light.
The apples
Okay,
have,
yeah.
the panels are a little unwieldy. I've had them hanging out the back end of my car, and I have an SUV, so because they're 4 feet by 8 feet each one. But the apples are fairly light.
Yeah.
So that it's a combination of installed on buildings and just put in the ground?
It's dependent on, for the locations,
Yeah.
what is recommended to us is the best. We looked at trying to put them on buildings as much as possible.
Yeah.
The fiberglass manufacturer gave us the clips that they were actually attached to the one in the town hall, so you can kind of see what they look like to install them on to the buildings.
How are they secure? I mean, are they just, if the ones that are in the ground, it looks like there's a couple to be in the ground, how are they secure? I mean, I know.
If they're going to be in the ground, we do have stakes for them, and I guess we'd be given directions possibly from DPW, what's the best method to anchor them.
Keep them in the ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leslie.
I often think of the Eagle Scout projects that are around town, and they're great, they're wonderful, but eventually some of them need some maintenance. And sometimes things don't get properly taken care of. They kind of get faded and so forth. What is the commitment to be sure that if they get faded or the finish starts chipping off, who's going to be responsible to be sure that these continue to look good over the years?
Scott, I think we talked about this in terms of these are going to be town property, the apples and the panels, and if they need to repair them or make any.
Yeah, we'd have to reach back out to the artist. I'm not confident that there would be any repair mechanism. Removing layers of clear coat in a manner without damaging the underlying artwork, I don't know if there's any viable process to do that. So my expectation is these would be installed until they're no longer pleasing to the eye.
We'll get Diane's husband, he's an artist.
Yes.
He'll touch them up.
Of a rolling cycle of reappling,
Yeah.
possibly.
I mean, it is a very good point, and it's something that I know we've had other public art things, the chairs that show up on the town common, and the doors, which, those are then into, people's private property. So, but I think that we want to put them up, and I don't think it's meant to be a permanent. It's potential that they will be taken down and replaced with something else if there is another project coming down the line.
Okay, they're beautiful, it's unbelievable, amazing.
We're excited. The artists are, we have a couple more, 3 more apples that are coming into us from the artists, so there will be the total of 10.
And do we have any idea if other towns done this before, how durable they truly are?
I know from the standpoint, I know that this project was kind of modeled on the foxes, like the foxes of Foxborough. You see other towns, I've seen, deer and dogs and other things around other areas. So I haven't really looked in, I know I was not on the board when this project was, the germination of the project in terms of how long those things last. I'm assuming most towns, it's meant to, again, be up as long as possible until the point when it no longer looks good and you need to take it down.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Do you have a motion?
I'll read this one. I move that the Select Board vote to authorize the Northborough Cultural Council to install the Seasons Panel at Town Hall and the apple sculptures at various town-owned buildings and locations as presented.
Second.
Roll call vote. Mike?
Aye.
Joanne?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Leslie?
Aye.
I'm an aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I feel compelled to say, how you like them apples?
We need to stem this
think she likes
conversation.
There it is. Let's take a bite out of it.
That was from the core.
Good.
Let's keep going.
Okay, moving right along.
I like that, I like that.
My apple joke.
I can't promise that.
Staying with art in Northborough.
Yeah.
Next order of business, Northborough Art Council sculpture location acceptance, discussion and possible vote.
Yes, tonight is art night.
Yes.
Welcome, Matt.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Bikna Nguyen, 15 Copley Drive.
I'm Anna Katzenberger, member of NAC. Oh, 68 School Street, Northborough, Massachusetts.
You can just call me Bic. So I just wanted to say a few words to set the stage. I am the president of the Northborough Arts Council, which is a nonprofit here in town. You can consider us the supplemental funding arm for the NCC. That's what we were formed as, basically the Friends of the NCC. I'm here to ask for your decision and approval on the location of a very big, iconic sculpture that we commissioned a very well-known artist, Dale Rogers, on our behalf. I'm going to take you back to September 2024, when we first got $34,833 to execute on the then 5-year public art plan. And at the time, and still today, between the NCC, and she's also on the NCC, so you've got a combo NCC, NAC here, we have the same objective, which is to support downtown revitalization as per the master implementation plan, and also to use the funds to execute on 3 projects, this being the 3rd. You just heard about 2. And then, most importantly, to use public art as placemaking, which means our intent is to say to the world, we are Northborough and here we are. So if you think about other sculptures, such as Boston Duckling in Boston, you know exactly where you are. The 12-foot bronze pear in the middle of Everett Square in Dorchester, which was fabricated for the exact same reason that we are doing today. The giant dog on Route 495 in Haverhill, which you can see right from the highway, and the swordfish harpoon sculpture in Chilmark in Martha's Vineyard. So they represent the town, they represent the people, and that's what we want to do. AIM is to bring everybody together to appreciate and support something that they're proud of. So, and that it says, this is Northborough. So we don't want our town to be a pass-through, we don't want it to be about gas stations, that's not what we want people to remember us about. So that was the mission and objective, several years ago when we started the public art plan. So with that in mind, because it's such a big project, we wanted to ensure that we got all of the townspeople's opinions, because this is very important. This is going to be something that they own, that they are proud to say, I live in Northborough and that's mine, and not say, oh God, I gotta move out of Northborough now, because what did they do, So with that, we actually sent out 3 surveys. The first one was they could pick the theme of the sculpture. The second was they selected the artist. And the third was, where did they think it would be best placed? And so here we are today. And you have in front of you, I think the first 2 pages are just what we've been doing since 2024. But there are 2 renditions of potential or popular, voted most popular places for this sculpture. But it is very important. So yes, the town voted, but we also definitely would like to hear your thoughts, and let's get some discussion about what is best for the town. This one.
Finish.
Sure. So this first one is Blake Street. It assumes that the lion sign will be removed. I think that's a plan.
That was my question.
Yes, I think that is a definite, actually. It also assumes that the flagpole will be relocated elsewhere, maybe Town Common, perhaps. We have to, I think Mr. Charpentier can talk about that more, about getting permission. And then there is a dead, dying tree. I believe it's the big pine in the middle there, to the left of where the sculpture is. I'm not positive about the timing of that. Although, as you can see here, that's not necessary to be taken down for the sculptures to exist. And this does look very big from Route 20, but that also makes an impact. So it's the little double-edged sword. You have to be careful about, what we can do is we can raise the base high or a little bit lower. It could be a foot high if we needed to, or just 6 inches off the ground so that we can minimize the size. But as you drive by, and this is a great location because right down Route 20 and 135, you can see from either direction that this is the center of town. So that's the impact this location makes. Can we move to the next picture? Thank you. The most popular location, 58% of the town voted, or 53, is the town common. I personally would have put it smack in the middle of the town commons. You can see it from Route 20. But I know that sacred green space, be used that for fairs and et cetera. So it's maybe hard to, push carts around, and it may be blocking music events and stuff under the trellis. So this is in the back horseshoe, but it's close to the walkway, so that's ADA friendly. Moms can push their carts and wheelchairs can be accessible, and they can still take pictures in front of it. And so that's where it would be. It would also help draw the eye to things that might be happening in the back, that if you had tents and activities back there, people may not go all the way back, so they kind of stay to the front. But if they look and they see what's going on, and they walk back there to see this new sculpture, take pictures, and then it draws you around the whole entire common. So those are the current 2 best options.
Questions from the board? You put you very great presentation. Like a lot of really centered me how to think about it. So I appreciate that, and really I think location 2 would be pretty impactful.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it's likely to be able to stay there longer with uncertainty around what happens at Blake Street. I think putting it in the town common would be really, really nice.
Did you all receive the email from the Town Common Committee?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, the point is that they're developing a policy on public art or any public art, a policy on what can be installed at the Town Common. There has been a lot of conversation about where this is going, and one of the concerns with that group, and I have to say I agree, is, where does it stop? And how do you decide, and, is it gonna be a, kind of a escalating thing? So, the other point I wanna make about the town common is, I don't think that as driving by, you'll see it as much as you will at Blake Street. And if the intent is for, people driving or walking, they'll see it much more at Blake Street. And this property, this piece of property right here is town-owned, so I don't think that can be touched with any other development there.
Which
one is
place?
town-
Blake Street, that's
Town-owned?
Location 1?
location 1, yes.
And the common is not town-owned?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
But that's in response to the point of, we don't know what's happening with Forest Main, so we know that this is town-owned.
Okay.
I just wanted to clear that up.
As to the locations, the secondary thing to think about is the placement within the locations. So if you at least would perhaps decide on the location and then where it is just as important, because I agree with you. That's why I thought that if it was town common, I wanted smack in town common so you can actually see from Route 20 and make the impact that we meant to make. But the pros and cons of that has to be discussed. So would you pull it forward towards the walkway, closer to the, to the front,
Benches.
and not so much in the middle, so you can free up that green space? Is that an option, or, I'm not sure what other options, but, you can all provide different inputs. And even on Blake Street, do we angle it so you can see it from 135 and 20, or you make it horizontal to Route 20? Different ways to capture the people's.
And just question on the removal of the sign and the flagpole. Are funds for that out in the original, set aside in the original ARPA allocation that went for this, or where's?
No.
It is not.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Talking to you is going to take care of that.
Scott?
Scott Charpentier, Public Works Director. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Parks and Rec Commission took this up at their May 5th meeting. I mentioned it earlier. The town common is a park, so it's under their jurisdiction. Blake Street is not, even though we call it a pocket park. It's general public lands under the jurisdiction of the Select Board. The discussion on whether the Rec Commission was going to approve placement of the sculpture at their May 5th meeting was tabled. They wanted to get some more information and the opinion of this board on what their thoughts are on the Blake Street location. There are some challenges with both, obviously. Blake Street has the Ellsworth tree and the Ellsworth flagpole, both of them dedicated to a fallen soldier from Northborough. The tree is in decline. It's not dead, but it's in decline. We do have an annual fertilization program trying to keep it as robust as we can, but it's an uphill battle. So there has been a sidebar discussion and possible initiative to install a new holiday tree at the town common, rededicate it to the Ellsworth, to Neil. The question about the flagpole, we already have flagpoles. They're on the memorial site of the town common. My expectation would be that the flagpole would remain at Blake Street. Again, these are things that are in motion. To answer Mike's question, no, there are no funds to remove the lion sign nor demolish the area. Public Works is perfectly comfortable pulling out a front-end loader and cutting down trees, throwing them through a chipper, and ripping up brick and walls. Decommissioning electrical signs costs money. That's not something Public Works, we're not electricians. A couple of the logistic concerns that arose at the Parks and Rec Commission regarding the town common placement was one, constructability. When the town utilized ARPA funds to put the picnic tables in the back, the contractor it was a challenge to bring the concrete in. He had to use little buggies. I don't know if you've seen them, but it's a little hand-controlled, motorized wheelbarrow, basically, where you bring in small amounts of concrete because they couldn't go over the walkways or the irrigation system. And they went through the Vertex property, Lori Carbonell's property over the old Bank of America. So they were able to do that. This sculpture is in a similar location. It's easy to get the concrete there. The sculpture's a little bit different. You can't bring that thing in little pieces. It's one big piece of steel. Another logistical component of the town common is it's our one premier banner location. Every civic entity and civic engagement in town, they want to put a banner there. Where's the banner? It's centered right on the opening. That's where everybody can see it. We have set foundations for the banner. Where was the sculpture? Behind the banner. So we'd have to think about eliminating banners on the town common or hanging them from the posts, and I'm not sure what the approach would be. But there were logistics on both sides. The Rec Commission wasn't comfortable making a decision on the town common location because they weren't sure what was going to go on with Blake Street and a possible holiday tree for Neil Ellsworth at the town common.
When do you take receivership of the sculpture?
The artist would like that to happen by July 1st. I have since communicated with him and said we had things to consider. And he said it could be, he would move it to September.
September?
Yes, I said, phew. Yes, he actually takes the summer off. So that's why it was either July or September. He doesn't work July and August. Do we have time to decide?
Sounds like we have some time, but I'm having trouble because I like both spots, but for different reasons. I think that we have to kind of decide, you know, if it's on Blake, it's a different kind of impact. It's like, hi, you've entered Northborough. If it's on the town common, it is sort of a kind of a very peaceful spot. Maybe there's some other interesting things there. The pergolas, it's a beautiful, kind of peaceful area. That's a different message than it being on Blake Street. So I think we kind of need to decide how we as a town want to view that type of sculpture. It's big, and what kind of impact do we want it to have? So that's why I'm having trouble with it.
Through the chair.
Steph?
Just one point about Blake Street, because I hate wasting money. We spent $200,000 on the Blake Street design. Whether or not we use that in the future, if it does end up at Blake Street, could we push it out of the design area, which I know you could do, just keep it kind of right on that corner, because again, why waste money if we decide to do it in the future?
And then how does that interact with any park we invest in terms of the beautification? Does it block it? Does it, I mean, I agree with Leslie's kind of characterization of it, and I was driving past it the other day when I got the packet, and I was like, it is going to be hard to see 20 West. It's not conducive 20 West to really see it. 135 and 20, you get an angle. 20 East, you'll be able to get it. So that was the counter on Blake Street. Where I was kind of like, and then I think it would be kind of a hallmark, if we put it in the town common. It would kind of be like a at least for the community, like a local landing point that people would come to appreciate, I think.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a focal point there. Yeah.
I have a suggestion. What if we table this decision and allow each of us time to kind of go and sit in the common and kind of picture it there? Sit, you know, kind of try to picture it at Blake Street, but also I would like more information about when that Lions Club sign can be moved, because if it goes there, it has to be in conjunction with removing that sign. And also information about where the tree, if the tree moves, where the tree will be located at the common.
So if you look in this picture, the sign is almost directly under that maple tree. So technically, if neither the sign nor the tree moves, it's still perfectly
Enough
good in the little
but
green corner.
the sign has to go. You know, it's
Sure,
not
for,
working.
I think for other reasons, it's gotta go.
That's in
but it's
general,
not-
right, outside of this project?
Yeah.
Meaning.
But let's do it all together. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're gonna put up a beautiful sculpture.
How does the rest of the board feel? Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably not at a place where we can make a decision this evening, given the information that we have. I would like to know, right, if Blake is to be an option, you've got to get rid of that sign, and there's a cost to that per the DPW director. So if there's a way that we can at least stick a number to that, just to know what we're dealing with, and even if there would be that funding available, or we'd have to wait all the way to town meeting, which is well past September. If for some reason this item, the sculpture was received but not immediately installed, Is there an option, and Scott, I'm kind of looking towards you, of storage of it somewhere, maybe at a DPW somewhere, but while it,
We have plenty of room to store it.
Yeah.
What we don't do, we're not riggers in Public Works, so we don't pick up unique pieces of artwork and place them. There's a lot of liability associated with that. We pick up big pieces of concrete and rocks and we put them back.
Right.
So yes, we can absolutely store it. It will be safe. It'll be secured. But it would likely result in a little additional expense for a second pick and place.
right, so that has to be weighed between maybe some expense to remove a sign versus paying twice to have it moved.
Right.
essentially.
Regarding the Lions Club sign removal, I'd have to get a price from an electrician to disconnect it and abandon the service, and then remove and dispose of the light panels. All the brick, we can get rid of that in a construction demolition dumpster. We can't take brick, concrete, and construction demolition and put it in the roll-off dumpsters at the highway garage. You have to order a special dumpster, and it goes to a special recycling facility. There is a cost associated with that. It's not a big one, but lots of littles, they add up. But I'm happy to put together a combined price for that.
Yeah, I mean, if the board agrees
Yes,
that that's a good idea.
that's great, thank you.
In our contract with the artist, he's going to bring it here, ship it here, and like manage the placement, the actual installation. Now, it could have gone either way. He's like, I'm okay if you guys do it, and I'd be there just to like watch and make sure, but it was, I didn't realize it was such a 50-50 decision. I thought definitely he would do it for sure, but he was like, no, it's not that, like, not that hard. So he could do it. But yeah, so I fully expect that whenever the date is, that he would come and do all the installation, no cost to us. The base, I'm trying to get somebody to do for free, so that would also help free up some money. And if that needs to go somewhere else, we were hoping to do a fourth project actually with extra money, but kind of contingent on where we're placing and then access for the cement truck for the landscaper and all that. This Blake Street would probably be easier than Common, I assume, but I don't know.
Jeff?
I mean, I'm reluctant to take on additional cost for this. I mean, to me, it would look great in the town common. It seems like most of the people surveyed felt the same way. It seems a little unnecessary to drag it out and make a bigger project out of it than is necessary. I think it would look great in the town common. I think it would be a focal point. I think it would be much, as you talked about taking pictures, it would certainly be a more pleasant place to take pictures with that than Lake Street and with traffic behind you. Yeah, and certainly getting into taking down signs and knocking things, it just seems a little unnecessary. Again, particularly given the fact that, was it almost 60% of the people surveyed said they want it in the town common. Just put it there.
So, yeah, I mean, like, if it, you know, I understand so many things happen with the town, so I can't talk to that, but, you know, just from an artistic perspective and the way in which we approach this, we knew that this had to be something that, like, the majority of the people liked, because if they didn't, at any point, you're gonna hear about it for years on end. So that's what the survey was meant to do. So even we don't get a say, board members don't get a say, you know, our job is to vet the artists, make sure that we had, you know, presentable options, you know, for them, and to do all the scoping out to make sure, you know, that we do our duty here as per the ARPA funds. But, you know, at the end of the day, we really just wanted to make sure public opinion was heard. So.
Do you remember how many people responded to this
It was a little over 300, and you might say, not a lot. However, every survey that we have taken has been about 300. So those are your active constituents who will respond to anything put out to them. So we got exactly what we asked for. Yep. I mean, they're not like, oh, no, not only 300, or, oh, 300, so great. No, it is right in line with every survey that's ever gone out.
Name and address, please.
Hi, Jonathan. Congratulations on being made chairperson.
Thank you.
Susan Sartori, 465 Green Street. I would like to understand the implications of the ARPA funds. When do they have to be expended by?
December.
December?
This year.
December?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't know I was on TV. Amy Peretsky, 47 Indian Meadow Drive, and I missed most of the discussion. I just heard you guys were discussing it, and I had sent a letter earlier in the day. I just wanted to say that, I mean, it may look okay there. It's, what is it, 12 feet high? We just want to make sure it's in the right place because there's a wind sculpture down there, and at one point it was supposed to be next to the pergola, and then we realized it was so big. Like, I don't want, I think we appreciate art for sure, but if it's close to the pergola and it dwarfs over it, we just want to make sure it looks okay. And when the town common came to fruition, it was like a downtown green space. So in the letter that I wrote, we just wanted to make sure there's a policy for art because, you know, if one group puts in a sculpture, then the next group wants to put in a sculpture, then another group wants to put in a sculpture, then it becomes too crowded down there. And then you won't be able to have, you know, the farmers markets, and it'll start to look like you need a theme because there's more and more going in every year. There's a new memorial going in, which is great on the memorial side. And then at the same time, we heard there's another sculpture going on the other side. Eventually, it will get to be too much. So I don't know if there's going to be a limit to how many things can be put in the common, but I think what we would like to see is just make sure it looks appropriate. Like it does in this little picture, but you can't even see the pergola in this little picture. So just make sure if it's going to go there, that it doesn't dwarf the pergola and look, you know.
No,
I don't
this,
know.
this was spec to size. It doesn't.
Right, but I
seem
don't
like
see
it,
the
but-
pergola in that picture right there, and
To the
I
left?
just,
Right.
huh?
To the left over there, is that where it
Yeah.
is, next to the telephone pole and the flag?
I can't see it on the.
Right, so it would not
Trying to-
dwarf, is that,
No.
that's the concern.
Yeah.
But I think the difference here is that we don't have any sculptures in Northborough. Even the little flag thing, you can't even see it in the picture because it's the coloring of that particular wind sculpture thing. Nobody knows that there's a sculpture there. So, and this is meant to be the icon, this is Northborough.
Northborough.
We're not building a sculpture park here. Like later on, if like, oh, we decide to make this a very artistic common and you want to have all kinds of art things like the chairs, which you can see in here, and other things in it, then yes, you know, closely decide if you want to do that. But this is supposed to ground us, so that's a little bit of the difference. But I appreciate what you're saying. Yes,
Yep.
we gotta make sure we have an artistic eye to what we're doing, you
Right,
know, to make it beautiful.
yeah. So it'd be interesting to see, like, even when they put the tables back there, they put out the tape and the poles, so you could see how big it was gonna be and kind of get a concept of it. It'd be kind of good if you put something there, maybe that was 12 feet high in the same width, just to get a concept of what, if it will fit. That's all I had to say. I just hope that the Board of Selectmen has a policy going forward and there is like a theme or a plan for the whole park.
We did do that. We did go out there.
Oh, I know,
We measure it.
I meant going forward, like how many things are gonna be placed in there, like, because if one group does it and then someone else wants to do it and someone else wants to do it, it becomes overwhelming down there.
I appreciate your concern for that, and that is a good concern. But this is the community. The community picked this sculpture. There were other beautiful sculptures that we had. It wasn't our choice.
Oh, I'm not
It was
saying
the
anything about that
community.
sculpture
It
at
was the
all.
community's
But there
choice.
could be other committees, like you're a nonprofit committee.
Right.
There are other nonprofit committees can say, well, you allowed that sculpture, so now we want our sculpture. I could go down and say, well, I want my sculpture too. We just want there to be some sort of plan. And I think it's a policy that would have to be done. Not for you,
Right.
but for the park.
Leslie?
Okay, so there's some other things going in that you mentioned, a memorial and something else. Who's approved those? Who approved those?
Parks and Rec.
Scott's raising his hand because he was at the Park and Recs committee meeting.
Still Scott Charpentier. So the Parks and Rec meeting on May 5th is a very popular meeting for me to discuss tonight. The Historic Commission commissioned fabrication of a Revolutionary War memorial. Very similar to the Veterans Memorial that's at Howard Street Cemetery. It's going to be installed on the memorial side at Town Common. So if you're standing with your back to the Civil War Memorial, looking at the Gulf War Memorial, it'll be to your left-hand side. I'll be around 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Still within the memorial side. For those who have not been to the Town Common very often, there's a row of granite posts that segregate the common leisure side from the memorial side. They went before the Parks and Rec Commission. Again, as I indicated earlier, it's a parkland, so the Parks and Rec Commission has jurisdiction over it. They approve the location. They're currently working through the logistics of placement of it. It's not easy to pick up a huge piece of granite and set it without being able to use equipment across the walkways and
Yeah.
soils. So.
Yeah, okay, and I'm not saying that's bad stuff. This is all great stuff, but without there being some sort of clearinghouse, I can see that, this group approves this group approves that, and some of those things aren't coming before us. This is before us, but those other things haven't come before the board.
So a policy
So it
was,
seems it needs some sort of clearinghouse type thing so that everybody's on the same page, it seems like.
I agree,
Yeah.
through the chair. So a policy was prepared in draft form. After the Town Common was constructed, it floundered before COVID. It's been on a shelf collecting dust since. Discussions like this, discussions like a new Ellsworth tree, kind of re-energized the policy development. So the Parks and Rec Commission is working with the Parks and Rec Director to put together, rejuvenate the policy to go before the Parks and Rec Commission for their consideration, and then to the Select Board for your consideration. The last time the policy was worked on was under Chief Liver. So it's been
Scott, what's the timing on that?
On the policy?
Yeah, to go to get to us. I know it has other gates.
They meet monthly, so the expectation would be they'll see a draft policy in their June meeting and polish it up. If whatever comments they have, go before them in the July meeting, and then come before this board in August. That would be my expectation.
Okay.
I would like it to be quicker. I wish it never stopped. I don't like seeing things get to 95% to the finish line and then not get finished. Unfortunately, this is one of those instances, so we do want to shepherd it forward.
My personal view is you can do both, right? I think we can have this discussion and have the policy be done in conjunction, and don't have to have the policy prior to making the decision here.
I agree, and the Parks and Rec Commission had the same thoughts.
Thank you,
Mike.
Scott.
You had mentioned that there's an additional project after this one?
Only if we had leftover money,
Only
because
if-
we under budgeted we over budgeted for the sculpture, so the artist came in under our expectations, so that was one.
Okay.
Thankfully, and then if we can get the base done by the landscaper that we're speaking to, that's a couple $1,000s right there, so that would free up, like 3,000. So the next project we wanted to do was painting the electrical boxes
Oh, nice.
around town. It would be like a themed of, like, say, endangered species, or something. And again, we would involve the community, so we were thinking of having the middle schoolers vote, because they do that field trip of theirs to, the nature classroom. So they could select the animals and feel like they were part of it, and then
That certainly sounds nice. So if the install and the concrete go the way that you kind of hope it would, what would be sort of your balance after that of the ARPA funds? Just a rough number.
3,000 to 4,000.
3,000 to 4,000. Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion from the board? I'm hearing, and it may make sense to bring this back in our next meeting, and if people want to go and visualize what it's going to look like and get that sort of perspective on it. I have a perspective where I think I would vote, but I don't necessarily need to take the vote tonight. No discussion from the board? Jeff?
I'd be comfortable taking a vote.
Leslie?
Yeah, I would take a vote too, yeah. I think so. As long, as long as, yes, the policy,
Is
that
coming.
there's a clearinghouse
Something
thing
coming.
going on, so that the right knows what the left is doing
Right.
in terms of the big picture on the town commons, so that it doesn't just a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Susan?
Susan Sartori, 465 Green Street. The town common is a really special place to a number of people that helped give birth to it. It's kind of like their baby. And I think that if you do decide tonight to go forward with it, if you can bring Amy and the people she's been working with in to try to figure out the siting and the best placement for it there, if you do vote this evening to put it in the town common, I think that would be really helpful since there's no policy in place at this point in time. But I think the collaboration would be great. I know I personally would love to see it installed so it could be unveiled during Apple Fest. It would be a really marvelous thing to happen.
That was untapped.
But I think we have to work with the other people that have helped create the space to make everybody feel comfortable.
Real quick note to make, that if it's on Blake, I mean, does it become a play structure at some point?
It's gonna get messed up.
And if someone falls off of it, it's on Route 20?
Yeah.
As opposed to, if you are on it and you're on the town common, at least it's not.
Further from the street,
You're just
yeah.
on the grass. I hate to say that, worst case scenario,
Yeah.
but that's just another point to,
Blake has that dynamic of a hangout.
it does anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point.
Yes,
Yeah.
so, it's another aspect of this, yeah.
Julianne?
I'm sorry?
Julianne, do you,
I
what would your
still,
preference be?
I still would like to get more of a plan, maybe even bring Lori in and see how this sculpture would work on Blake. And like I said, you know, where's the tree gonna go on the common? That's another imposing feature. And I would prefer to think about it more, but
I mean, we could still agree that it goes in the town common, again, to your point, with the stipulation that we don't know exactly where yet, right? If there's other things that we know, the tree, what have you, it can go there, but we can have a bigger discussion about where, based on any other plans that are coming down the road. To me, it makes sense there.
Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly not against taking a vote, so, you know, I'm fine with that. My only last thing was like, kind of would like to know what a cost would be to remove that sign. Obviously, $3,000 to $4,000 of remaining ARPA money probably doesn't put much of a dent in what that would cost, so that probably means that wouldn't help defer much of it. So if there's less money needed to put it in town common, and we can collaborate and make that work, then, you know, I'm okay moving forward tonight.
Mike
And it
Scott
seems
said
that-
it'll be less than that. He
Less
just
than
gave me-
that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Town Commons less, I heard, right? Or Blake?
To remove the sign, less than three.
Yeah, the expectation would be an electrician to be somewhere in $1,000, $1,200 range, and then the construction demolition disposal would be probably another $1,000, so maybe $2,500 all in.
see. What
DPW
happens
could get
when
the
you assume?
loader in there and clear it out pretty quickly.
I get PTSD from prevailing wage, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, I mean, I guess, to me, Blake Street does kind of put it right front and center. I get the concerns about it being a hangout spot, but if we could also sort of get a commitment and parlay finally removing that sign and getting this installed, using monies that we've already allocated, so no additional tax money going to that. I mean, that seems kind of like maybe a way. Unfortunately, it may sacrifice the next project you're doing or scaling it down, but it's a way to get this thing installed, so, you know, it looks prominent front and center, and then also the eyesore sign is gone. So I guess kind of thinking on the fly, and thank you, Scott, for interjecting. I'm okay with taking a vote. I would just, maybe would be more towards the Blake Street location for those reasons. But 3 votes decide it, so.
So all good arguments, right? So being sensitive to maybe giving the people that are tied into the town common a chance to speak, I'd be open to putting it to next meeting and coming back with the hard costs. Maybe we have those, though. Maybe the hard costs between the two we have, and I don't want to overcomplicate that. I think simple's better. So I'm open-minded, and if someone wants to make a motion to put it to a vote, we can, or if we want to make a motion to do it to next meeting, I'm fine with that too.
When is the next
When
meeting?
is the next meeting?
2 weeks from now?
Yes, the 8th.
So I'll make a motion to table this discussion until the June 8th meeting.
Do I have a second?
I will second it for a vote.
Thank you.
Motion's been made. Leslie?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. Yeah, I'm torn. I'm like, but I don't want to delay it past that 8th. I'm trying to be respectful, but I think we should come to a conclusion on this quick.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anything I can bring back from the next meeting that'll help you decide, or in between?
Yeah, one thing I was wondering about, when people did the survey, was the trail at the senior center offered as a possibility?
No, it was not, for the visibility aspect of it. The other locations were McAfee Ellsworth Park and Assabet Park, both on 135.
Okay. I see your point in, it being a placemaker, but that trail would be lovely with a sculpture too. So, okay, thank you.
Different sculpture. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was really helpful.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
there'll be a definite decision in 2 weeks?
This board can't promise
Hopefully.
anything.
No guarantees, but I think we'll get there.
We almost did tonight, so next time,
We did, and that was hard to
We
get
should
a
be
last
able
vote
to
on that.
agree that it goes
somewhere.
somewhere, and if it's there, not necessarily exactly where, but there somewhere, right? If that's where we land, so.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business, appointment of a select board member as a voting member of the Fire Station Building Committee, discussion and possible vote.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was probably around this time a year ago, I pitched myself to be the liaison to the Fire Station Building Committee. So a little bit of deja vu, but yeah, no, I'm still interested in serving as the liaison to the Fire Station Building Committee. Fairly familiar with the project. I've learned a lot more about mass contingency plan level sites than I ever want to in a lifetime, and what that means and the details around it. So, yeah, I'm not sure if anybody else feels strongly about it. I certainly defer to my colleagues and not trying to muscle anyone out, but I would definitely be interested in serving on that committee if somebody wanted to make a motion, but.
So, Mike, I think you'd be great on the committee, but you're already on Peasley,
Right.
and that's, if we have two big projects in town, it's Peasley and the fire station. So I would offer myself as the candidate for that committee.
I would second Julian for that committee, and the basis for that is being on the, not that I don't think you're capable of doing it, being on Peasley's, a major construction project, and to diversify board members' participation on that.
Yeah, no, I can certainly appreciate the concern for my time. I know my wife does, so thank you. I think, right, it's seeing the project through, seeing it through the end. I think seeing and helping a project get over the finish line helps me on the Peasley project, gives me that level of experience that I can then apply also to Peasley. And respectfully, I think it's important to have a liaison who, at that special town meeting, was affirmative in support of that project. Frankly, this committee, a year ago, decided to appoint another member as the liaison who was openly not in support of the project from comments and things that were made. And in my opinion, that did not go well. So again, I think you can be tough and you can ask good questions and be specific and have accountability. But I think there's some inherent value in having somebody who was supportive of that project and has proven that even though he may be in support of something, he's willing to ask tough questions as needed.
So I will retract my offer, but one thing I want to make clear is that there's $6 million outstanding, and from what I understand, the budget for the fire station is quickly using up the allocated first allotment of contingency money. And just to make sure that, because we voted as a board, that any monies dipping into that $6 million will come before this board.
Right, I mean, I didn't think if I was assigned the liaison position that would void a previous decision of the select board.
No,
Well, we have
I'm
two
on the
members,
chopping
and
block.
I want to make sure, I'm sorry?
I said I'm on the chopping block if that happens, because, well, yeah, we already talked about this. So if we go in, we need to, if we're getting very close to going toward that bucket of money, I need to make, that's my job to make you all aware. So I will 100% take that responsibility.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Leslie?
I think Mike is a great candidate for that. I trust his character, his integrity. This project, the horse is out of the barn on this one. And this committee needs to have positive people on it who are willing to move it forward in a positive way for the community. The community is sick and tired of any negativity around it. There's been too much going on with regard to this project. It's done. It's being built. It looks wonderful. It's going to be a beautiful thing for this community. And I think Mike would be a great person for that, to move that forward. So,
Agree with all those comments. I mean, the decision's been made, we're moving forward, and we're gonna have, and I do like the governance we put in place to have things come before the select board. We have a lot of tough decisions coming before this board in the next 12, 24, 36 months, and if there are ways to save money on the fire station while maintaining what we want to do, we should have those conversations. And so I'm supportive, and I think Mike would do a great job as well. Do I have a motion?
Kind of sounded like one, Mr. Chair.
Well, I know, I mean, I guess. I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I move that the select board vote to appoint Mike Tejan as the select board's voting representative to the fire station building committee.
second.
Mr. Chair.
We have a public comment.
Mitch Cohen, 12 Whitney Street, just a procedural point of order. The town charter requires that the town administrator names of building committees. So the town administrator should say who she wants to be on the committee, and then you ratify that.
Okay, Mike Tejan. Is that easy?
So the motion would be to ratify the town administrator's appointment of Mike Tejan.
So moved.
So moved. Leslie?
Yes. Well, second
Second.
first.
Do I have a second?
Okay,
Yes,
second.
second.
Okay, roll call vote. Leslie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Julianne, Mike,
Aye,
John's and I, we're all an aye. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
And applause. I mean, you don't usually get applause for putting committee members. Let's see if anyone likes it. Oh, look at that. Next order of business. Appointment of 2 select board members to the interview subcommittee for boards, committees, commissions, and councils. Discussion and possible vote.
Oh, Angie, do you have a list or no?
So just, like it was Julianne and Laura for a while, so this is for, you guys get to work with me. When we have boards and committees, applicants come in, we have the subcommittee that interviews them first, and then they bring the recommendations to you at a full board meeting, and then you guys vote on it. So I just need, because I have a whole bunch to schedule.
So it's like an interview committee.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
a subcommittee, and
Yeah.
if 2 of you could.
I'd be happy to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I was on it, one of the interesting things I found is, especially as being new to the select board, you learn a lot about what these other boards and committees do, because the chair or the liaison or person will come on and kind of describe what it is, what the role is, and you end up absorbing a lot of information. So, I thought it'd be good for, certainly for Jeff. Leslie, I know you've been here before, and you're well informed about things that go on, but I thought, maybe as a good exercise, having our two newest members maybe on that committee might be a good way moving forward.
They're fully remote, and the scheduling is much more flexible depending on your schedules.
Yeah, they worked around mine ad nauseum, so.
So they're fully remote?
They're fully remote, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember we used to do them around the table? We did.
It's funny. And lots of times they are later in the day, if that helps, but it's much, and so it's much more flexible. It's just my schedule, your schedule, and then just a few applicants that we have.
And it would require both of us at the same time.
Yeah, but if
Both
it comes,
members.
if something has to be done and one of you are not available, you can always reach out to another select board member to fill in. It's very fluid. It doesn't have to be just you two or whoever.
Quick question about that. Do we interview people who are interested in being reappointed?
I think you would. Yeah. Because.
Well, unless there's someone who wants their position.
Right, if they're being contested, yes, it is. So if someone
Right,
wants
of
to be
course, yeah.
reappointed, and then someone else wants, so we have that, we put out the vacancies, and then they have a timeline. If anybody wants to go again, fill that vacancy, the other person still wants, then you would interview them.
Because I believe when I was on the board previously with you, you were interested, and I think what happened was anyone who was interested in being reappointed had to re-interview for those positions.
If someone else wanted their position, so if someone is up, if their term is up, say on conservation, and someone wants that position, but the person wants to stay, then it has to go to an interview and appointment by us. But if no one wants that position except the person staying on, there's really no need to.
Those reappointments do come before you, and when it's the select board is the appointing authority, and we look, we ask the chair and the department heads, and make sure that they've been an active member, make sure there's no issues. So when it does come before you, we've vetted on it, we made sure that
That they've been okay.
they're in good
chair.
The chair and
Yes.
the department head, whoever's involved, is okay with that.
Okay. We're willing to do that, I guess?
Further discussion, Julian?
I'm sorry?
Any further discussion, Julian?
No, not for me. Would you like a motion?
Yeah, I can move that the select board vote to appoint Jeff Ostagai and Leslie Rutan and to serve on the interview subcommittee for boards, committees, commissions, and councils' appointment recommendations.
Second.
Stephanie, do you have to do that?
One question, Steph, I'm just processing real time, sorry for trying to do two things. What does our charter say on this?
So this is the interview committee. I don't believe the charter refers to the interview committee at all.
It's a selectman's policy.
I don't think,
It's a policy, not the charter.
Yeah, and Mass General Law, I think, does, right, but we don't have a,
It wouldn't be, well, it's
we don't
not
have a formal
embedded
policy.
in, yeah, it's an outside policy
Yeah,
than our charter, yeah.
okay.
Because we've never really, usually the chairman appoints, assigns the liaisons.
Right.
And did we ever vote on this?
Well, I think, so you as chair will work with Angie before the next meeting, work with the board members of who wants to.
For committees, assigned committees, yeah.
Yep, who wants to be liaisons.
Understood.
And we don't typically vote on it. I think Angie brought this because she wants to schedule some interviews sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'm
You're gonna be busy.
This official, but yeah, just, people looking to join, which is awesome.
That's good. Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, no further questions to me. Roll call vote, Leslie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Julianne?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
I'm an aye, and Leslie and Jeff? You're the committee. Interview committee.
Here come the emails.
Oh, yeah. That gets busy.
I know. Oh, did you guys get your official email yet?
No.
No, okay. He's working.
Oh, okay.
Next on the agenda, finalized collective bargaining agreement, dispatchers, Massachusetts Coalition of Police, AFL-CIO Local 165B, discussion and possible vote.
So again, these are the memorandum of agreements that were already ratified, solidified by the board and the union president. So what we did was we took that, any new changes, and we put it into the actual contract, you know, of things that didn't change. And the reason we do that is because we go through several versions of memorandum of agreements. And God forbid somebody picks up one along the line, like number 7, and it was really number 8. That's why we put it officially into the contract, so we make sure that we have all the correct information.
So on these agreements, in general, I think we need to put the current agreement and we need to put the proposed agreement in, you pick Claude, ChatGPT, and have it create a table of what's changed. And it's super clear.
Yes, yeah, we discussed that at our last meeting.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
for me, it would be really useful to understand clearly what changed in each.
But you know what, that would come about when we were negotiating the MOA. So that would already have been done by the time we got to this point.
Totally. Yeah, so that process wasn't in place, like the way AI's evolved in the past couple of months, we're up on the curve, so now it's got so much more capability.
Yeah.
Do we have a schedule that has what the old agreement, just to be very clear on what the
We
current
have
agreement
red
is?
line copies, yes. But, I mean, if you'd like the changes listed, we could.
I mean, I can do it myself too, if I just get both copies, I can just generate a table, and it would tell us specifically what changed, and we'd understand.
Well, yeah, the MOA is listed.
Where's that?
It's, is
Well,
inside of it.
Well, no, we didn't include it in the packet, did we? The MOA? Would, so would that be helpful? The MOA is kind of,
Yeah, I'm open-minded, like, whatever our current agreement is, and then whatever the agreement that we would look to approve, just to have a clear table, like, current agreement, all the key attributes that, and anything that changed, and then it would give us a readout, so one thing I find whenever doing union agreements, it takes me a bit to get through it, and it creates a way that we can see the information a bit more clearly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, and we'll work on that. So that MOA, those are all of the new changes that you'll see in the contract, but what you want to see is a table of, you know, what it was before, what it is now, yeah, and what changed. Yeah, we can do
Yeah,
that.
for all of them, I think that would be good practice for us to then we're talking about the same thing at the same time.
right.
Okay,
And that would be before we get to this vote, right? Because essentially, these
Yes.
3 were all decided and
Yep.
voted on by the board in
Already.
executive session. And it's kind of more of a
correct.
stamp at
Yep.
this point.
So moving forward, we will do
I
that.
think it would be good for the board to see what, specifically for Leslie.
Well, we're still working on the fire department's contract, so at least you'll be involved with that.
Well, that one's, we got it, that one, but these ones are what I'd call like at the goal line.
Well, no, they're at the finish. Well, that is the goal line.
I don't know, maybe pick your sports.
It's kind of just
out
adding
of
the
line.
points to the scoreboard. right?
I just
Well,
remember,
I'm just saying, we can't make any more changes per se because everything was ratified.
Okay.
So that MOA, we're just putting it into the contract so we can take out any language that does not work anymore because of the revised sections.
So at this point, it's really informational as opposed to,
exactly.
because it's been ratified already.
Exactly.
But
It's-
it'd be good to see that, though.
Yeah, I think it would be good to see it, so we
Yeah.
all get centered on what we've.
So do you
agreed
want,
to.
do you want us to do that?
I mean,
And then we can come back?
I would like us all to kind of understand what we signed, what we're gonna sign. Like, I have no problems with all the conversations we had in executive session and on where we are, and there's
Yeah.
no issues with anything. But I think it would just say, okay, well, this is where what changed. And
Okay.
and then make sure people are aware of when we do these agreements, and that we have more transparency into like what actually changed, because they are nuanced. There's a lot of different sections that play into each other where you need to kind of look at the deal in totality to understand what value you're giving
Yeah.
and what value you're getting.
Okay, yep.
Do you feel that that prevents us from voting on it tonight?
I don't,
Do you-
I don't, but I do
Okay.
think I'd like to really press on the point of the way we operate. We should be looking at
Yes.
data all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm comfortable voting tonight on it, but I want to make sure we,
'Cause we
even
might
if it's,
have to,
yeah, even if it comes as a
Okay, so moving
post-mortem,
forward.
we should all get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yes.
fair.
Yep.
Okay.
So we can vote on it. Yeah. Pretty good.
Any other discussion from the board? I haven't made a motion in a while. I move that the select board vote to approve the finalized collective bargaining agreement between the town of Northborough and the Massachusetts Coalition of Police, AFL-CIO Local 165B, the dispatchers, as presented.
Second.
I have a second?
Yeah, Leslie.
Leslie, thank you. Roll call vote. Leslie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Julianne?
Yes.
Mike?
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Passes. Next order of business, finalized collective bargaining agreement, sergeants, Mass Coalition of Police, AFL-CIO Local 165A, discussion and possible vote.
Can I make a motion?
Yeah, any board discussion? Hearing none?
I move that the select board vote to approve the finalized collective bargaining agreement between the town of Northborough and the Massachusetts Coalition of Police, AFL-CIO Local 165A, Sergeant's Unit, as presented.
Second.
Motion seconded by Jeff. Roll call vote. Mike?
Aye.
Julianne?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
Leslie?
Aye.
And I'm an aye.
Number 12, we're going to table because we didn't get final review from council yet. They didn't get to it, so we thought we would have all of them in time. So we'll bring that back.
And that brings us to the Economic Development Committee.
Yes.
Steph?
So back in November, the copies are in front of you all, kind of pushed out to the head of the table. But back in November, we discussed whether or not we were ready to create an Economic Development Committee. So you'll see, it was, I don't have a copy myself, but anyway, you'll see it, it's dated November. In the interim, we had a conversation about, Julianne had a good idea of bringing together a panel of different economic development teams. So Marlborough has a great one. It's called Economic Development Corp, Marlborough Economic Development Corp. And it's interesting because it's a nonprofit, so it's not a town department, but they do a lot. And of course, they can get more aggressive in marketing. They're not under the Procurement Act, but they have a great relationship with the town. So Meredith, who is the director there, has been very helpful. She's been here before, helping us with TIFs and educating us. So she said yes, she would love to be part of a panel, which is nice. And you spoke to Carrie. Oh, no, just the MRPC.
I haven't gotten an answer from them yet.
Okay, and I haven't received an answer yet from Hudson. Hudson also has a big Economic Development Commission. I spoke with Christina, who heads the department for the commission. So our idea is just to bounce some tools, programs, advice for communities like us that are beginning the process, and just, you know, we want to make sure we're concentrating on our existing businesses as well as ways to expand our business. And internally, we can do that. I ended up printing out This was a project that we worked on with Central Mass Regional Planning Commission. Fortunately, I had to take it down because I was just with the assessor, and a lot of the vacancies have been filled, so that's good. So we're updating this constantly, and we'll have probably a few more additions coming on, which is great. But this is just one tool that we have right now, and in order to market ourselves, we have to concentrate, what is our zoning like? Are we encompassing every area that we can for commercial, industrial business? We don't have a ton of space left, but, you know, we have mixed use, which is great too, because that brings a lot of people in. So you can have commercial on the bottom, residents on top. But whatever we can do town-wise, one-stop shopping, if we have a big project come in, what we do now is all sit at a table. So it'll be the building department, it'll be the planning department, Scott left. Scott, I'm trying to think of who else is there. Conservation Commission, if it involves wetlands. So the person isn't jumping around from department to department. We want to be helpful, we want to be welcoming, and I'm a big advocate for that, for, you know, bringing businesses in and retaining the businesses that we have now. So little steps, but when I was in Holden, as I said, I revitalized the Economic Development Committee that it died out for probably 5 years. And the impact was amazing. All of the businesses started to work with each other, and that's where I got the idea for the Halloween trick-or-treating, so people could see their community and what businesses they had that they just never knew of. So it is, I think it is important, and we should move ahead on this very quickly, as quick as we can, just because we don't want to lose any opportunities. And right now, we set ourselves up well. People know White Cliffs is, you know, moving forward. 4 West Main is in the works, whatever way that goes. We'll have, once they leave the fire station, we'll have that open, and I've already had a couple of people that have come to me with interest. And then, of course, Millie's, 1 Church Street, that's amazing. So that whole little loop will be a great, hopefully productive commercial center, so. So with that, I guess we can wait for feedback from CMRPC. I'll wait to hear from Hudson. Meredith's a green light. I mean, even if we just had her in, she's great.
She's good.
She's phenomenal.
So
Yeah.
in terms of CMRPC, would everyone like Carrie Sullivan did the kind of analysis of our, you know, the positives about Northborough, and maybe have her just review that?
Oh, absolutely, and there's so many positives.
I think everyone would
Yeah.
find that beneficial.
Yeah.
Just even, I mean, our schools are great, of course, our location is extremely amazing. Even the salaries people bring in, that's what businesses look for. They look at the salaries, they look at schools, they look at, you know, routes in, and we have numerous routes in. So we just need to make sure we keep looking at the spaces that we have, the vacancies, and, you know, where we could possibly situate other businesses to come in.
This looks great. One of the things I'm sort of interested in is, you know, trying to bring in different people with different, you know, sort of backgrounds and
Yeah.
things like that. You know, one of the things that without getting too much into the weeds, you know, when you talk about opportunities for marketing, having a dedicated plan around marketing, right? As
Right.
opposed to just creating things and hoping people find it, having a strategy around content and
I heard you can
publishing.
help us with
I
that.
can help you with that, yes. And it's just gonna make everybody's life easier
Yeah.
if we have a plan, as opposed to sort of being an ad hoc, change this, change that.
Yep.
Having something that's more formalized and a bit of a roadmap will just make everybody's life easier. It'll make it easier for us to figure out when we have to create things, what channels we have to create it for, how we push those things out. So this is tremendous. And yeah, obviously I will do anything and everything I can to help with this, for sure.
Awesome.
So Steph, question. So it looks like kind of the model that we would want to go towards is the public-private development model, right? So, and does that allow it to, as opposed to a town committee, are there still open meeting law requirements for that, or is it,
So,
are those constraints not there?
I mean, it always seems to tend to go towards open meeting law and making sure you have the meeting minutes and making sure, of course, we are not even close to being MEDC, the Marlborough's version, because they're on their own. But with that said, we do need to make sure that the private people are in. We need to have great relationships with our brokers in town, because if they see that we're playing ball, they're going to bring all of these businesses toward us.
Yeah, I guess one thing I would like is kind of seeing, okay, like, you know, we want to speak to the director over there at Marlborough.
Yeah.
Is kind of what that timeline looks like, because I know we've been talking about an economic development committee in some form or fashion, like 2 chairs ago, like for my first year on the board. So I would like to see kind of what a timeline would be to get this up and running, because I think, obviously we want to do it right, but we want to keep that ball moving down the field, because I think.
And we want to have the right people.
Right, no, absolutely. So that's why I was wondering if you could come back, doesn't have to be like in, maybe just an email or sort of what you think the rough timeline would be that, like, this could kick off and kind of what.
Okay, yep.
Yeah. I also think, I mean, economic development means dollars, right?
Yes.
And generating new revenue. I would love for this to come with goals, right? I think if we think about marketing and we think
Yep.
about things related to revenue, new revenue development, how
Yep.
we can reasonably set goals for ourselves to work against, I think that will help focus our efforts more.
Yep.
As opposed to just a broad, like, hey, we need more. We do,
Right,
like,
right, where do we
Where?
want it?
How much?
What type of
Exactly.
industry, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like someone might be angling for a liaison.
I just got here, give me a minute. No, yeah.
I also think this would be a nice way to counter the no borough that I keep hearing about. People do say that, whether we like it or not, no borough. So if we have something that's actively out there, marketing, we want you here, we're offsetting that. So it's out there. So I think that'd be a great way to counter that.
It's now borough.
Oh,
I like it.
there we go.
That's the marketing
One
spin.
letter.
Add the W for a win.
That's it, that's
Yeah.
it. Off we go.
Get it.
Writes itself.
We could just pun our way through this.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna have to rein me in.
That's right,
I
that's
know.
right.
I'm
Yeah, I
a
think-
dad joke kind of girl, I like it all.
Yeah, there we go.
I like the idea of it a lot. Just researching, no, obviously Marlborough's made a big investment. They're a city. They're doing things that
Yeah.
we're seeing very clearly that, I think Meredith's doing a great job. Then you have other towns, our neighboring towns, they kind of start stopping the Economic Development Committee from what I can see. Like, they have one, then they're like, and you go in there, it's been vacant for 2 years. Like, so there is this, and I do think the time for Northborough now makes it sense we put some energy around it. But I worry about things like, at some point, our master plan implementation committee should no longer exist, or something, like, so I'm wondering, like, what committees are going to, like, be the committees that we want to be really prioritize, and I think this is one of them. And then how do we want to think about the composition of who's on that committee, and we want to protect against special interest and try to think a way we can go and make Northborough easier to work with, encourage investment, economic growth, tax base, all the things and the zoning will be a big part of that as well. So I'm supportive of it. I just think we need to make sure we're really clear on it.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree with that, and to Jeff's point about goals, I think, you know, the first thing you do is set goals, and then you figure out the people who should fit, you know,
How to
who would
achieve them,
accomplish.
yeah, how to best achieve them, yeah.
So do you all want to start to think about what goals you would like and you think are most important for the EDC, and we can,
You've taken I mean, what you put in the teaser sheet with,
Yeah.
you know, there's a starting point. And I think there's a lens we'll all have to kind of help refine it, but with expanding commercial tax base, supporting existing business, new investment, redevelopment. I really like the idea of improving business coordination with the town. I find myself oftentimes meeting people new to town and that are small business, and I'll introduce the notion in your select board member because the normal community doesn't know that. And then I was like, how was your experience? And I do get a little bit of hesitation, like we're close to getting it done, so.
All you have to do is send them my way. They will
Yeah.
have the best.
Yeah, and I think there's an opportunity,
Absolutely.
but I like the way you put it. It's the coordination within the town.
Yeah, it
And I
is,
think we
big
can
time.
do better there. And
Well,
like, if you get
since I've
stuck, you can
gotten
call.
here,
Yeah.
absolutely, it's much better. It's much better.
I only know what I know, and I think that
Yeah.
I have heard the NOBO quite a bit, but I also don't have the experience of when that reputation. And I think anytime you work with the municipality, it's going to be slower than you want it to be. So I think you got to realize that.
And I don't even think it was, I think a lot of, the transition that happened with the town administrators and this
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that. So there was such upheaval that it was hard to have a process,
Totally.
but moving forward, there is a process and, yeah.
Do you have any recommended structures based on what you've seen our peers do in other towns in terms of how to approach structuring the committee? Have you talked to any other town
I'll tell you what,
administrators?
it's, a lot of it is personality and it's who you pick. If they have drive and they're ready to go, then you have a great team. And you need a couple of people on that committee that have energy and vigor and they really want it.
You're gonna wanna do this.
Yeah, so a lot of it is just picking the right people.
Yeah.
And then it just rolls, it snowballs, and you wind up with amazing opportunities. And things that you've never thought of. People are very creative.
What next step do you recommend, Steph?
I really do like the panel idea. I think it's good to bounce all of these questions off people that are very experienced in economic development and bringing it into a community.
Yeah.
And what tools do we need? What are we missing? And I'm sure they'll have questions for us too about our town and what we think and what we feel and what our challenges have been, what our obstacles have been, so.
I mean, I think even things like, are we gonna have to consider, allocating budget towards this? Like, what does that look like? Right.
Yeah, you're so right. What was the town? Was it Grafton? Oh, I wish Scott was here. He's from Grafton. Who just,
Southborough.
it was Southborough?
They just gutted their EDC budget.
Okay,
Shut it
so,
down
Yeah.
so
completely.
they would put, $78,000 was their normal annual budget. And they wiped it out because they got a Costco, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They don't need it
Yes,
anymore.
and so they said, we don't need it anymore, we have all this revenue
Yeah.
coming in, and,
Yeah, and it's
And I
not
think
that
it's-
much revenue.
Right, I think it's, right, it's a combination of getting
Right.
people on the board that bring, or the committee or whatever, that bring the right skill sets that they can add. But
Yes.
then, again, if there is budget that we need, what does it look like and what is it for?
Yeah, what is it
Right.
for? That's where I'm.
Right, so
my
I mean,
head's
so
going.
again, my brain goes to
Marketing.
like literally marketing.
Yeah.
Like, how do we, do we look at things like search, and are there things that are available from Google where they'll provide grants for things like this they're available sometimes? I don't know the answer to that yet, but I'd be curious to hear what, if anything, other groups are using, because I'm certain they're doing, it could be literally things like printing materials,
Yeah.
things like that. It could be
Right.
very low tech, right, and on the one hand, but it also could,
Right.
expand it to other things we might want to do.
So a panel's a good idea.
I like
Yeah.
the panel.
Yes.
Yeah,
In other words.
Yes. Yep.
What she said, yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm looking now in August, because I
think it's
know
very
what
good
we have
summer.
ahead of us.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I think Meredith is awesome and should totally be a part of it because I think she's really bright.
yes.
I also think we've got to find people that are involved in towns that look like ours, that aren't going to be cities with this sort of like municipal backing. Like we're a little bit of a bootstrap here.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you just to think
Yeah,
about.
we're more light manufacturing, not these big, yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, we're
Yeah.
still a town and
Yeah.
you're not gonna, so,
We're-
but yeah, if you can think of who we could, through your network, or I'm
Yeah,
happy to reach out to, like, be creative and see if we can get some smart people in a room.
Yep. So that's my goal. I'll set up an experienced panel.
And then, Steph, I'm thinking next meeting, let's go through the dates for the select board now that everyone's, and we'll get them on the calendar for the rest. I think they're already kind of on the calendar for
Yes,
the rest of the
they
year,
are.
but let's kind
Yeah.
of, we've got 2 new members and,
So, yeah, we just have the dates through June, and then we'll have to, at June 18th, I have it on to vote on the rest of the dates for the year.
okay, great, that's perfect. That's perfect timing.
Perfect.
Great, any further discussion on Economic Development Committee? All right, let's go to Fire Chief update.
Okay, Fire Chief update. From 8 professional resumes, first off, I should start, Paro Consulting, we hired back 5 months ago. And they run assessment centers looking for fire chiefs. So we had 8 professional resumes. We whittled it down to 5, his assessment center whittled it down to 5. Those 5 people were brought to a structured interview process, which Diane and I were able to sit in on. And everybody was great. There wasn't anyone that I was like, oh. But then he had other assessors with him on May 1st for the actual assessment, the exercises. So the tests that they were brought forward with were a tactical exercise. Then they had in-basket exercises, employee issue exercises, and media exercises. So the assessment, the tactical, it's common to the community, so they use material supplied by the department for accuracy and relative realization. Each candidate was given the same emergency fire, EMS hazmat situation in the community. This chosen incident involved a mass casualty incident that took place at a high school graduation involving 15 patients. All candidates were evaluated on the decisions they made during the simulated emergency incident as it related to common industry practices, procedures, and expectations. Then they had the in-basket exercise where the candidates were given 15 items that a fire chief would typically address as part of their administrative responsibilities. Items included emails, letters from citizens, phone calls. The purpose of the in-basket exercise was to see how a candidate deals with an array of issues related to day-to-day administration of the department and to look at basic written composition and computer skills. Time is intentionally limited in this exercise and requires the candidates to draw from their current knowledge and experience. The third was the employee issues role-playing. It involved a simulated situation that would require the candidate to conduct a one-on-one interview with an employee, which was one of the assessors that they had there. This incident involved a firefighter that was missing work on a regular basis and had a suspected substance abuse problem. The purpose of this exercise was to see how the candidate handled an employee issue that may require discipline, corrective action, and counseling. And then lastly, they had the media exercise. It was based on a fire incident that resulted in 2 firefighters being injured and 2 residents of the home perishing in the fire. The candidates were given a detailed outline of the actions taken by the department, then asked to give a brief press release and answer media questions. The purpose of the exercise was to see how the candidates developed a press release and if they answered media questions appropriately, which is all relevant information. You never know when any of these incidents are going to happen. The assessors felt all 5 candidates scored well in the assessment center and could fill the position of fire chief, but they noted their strengths and their weaknesses, and they recommend only pushing 3 forward. So those 3 will be before you. June 8th is our next.
June 8th?
Yep, June 8th. And I can help you if you want, but if you could each have 2 questions to ask them, and I could give you some examples. But, just one common one is, why Northborough? Why did you choose to come here? And, yeah. go
There
ahead.
might be some frame of reference questions, though, that you would know better, having sat in on those, the assessment center.
Yes, yeah.
That we might not pick up on. There might be some nuances that maybe if you
Absolutely.
could give us a
Yep.
couple, some
I
ideas.
think
for
that'd be
questions.
great, yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like even their, their leadership philosophy, their, there's so many different, well, I can give you actually more examples of like even like tactical side or how they would be with community engagement, because that's a big thing. Everyone loves their fire
right.
chief and
That's
police
right.
chief and,
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll definitely.
And Steph, is it 2 weeks from now, it's June 1st, I believe, is it June 8th is our next meeting? We have 3
Am
weeks?
I right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
June
okay.
8th is
June
So it's
8th.
3 weeks from tonight is our next meeting, if I have the dates right?
Oh, maybe you're right, yeah.
I have,
Yeah.
today's the 18th, right?
Yep,
25th, 1st, 8th. I'm fine with that, I just want to make sure I'm right.
okay, yep,
I mean, I'm trying to move it up,
Yeah,
but,
So that is correct.
yes.
yeah,
that-
it's almost
yep.
like a vacation.
Because-
Because.
Oh, yes, we'll be here again, actually,
Right?
yeah.
Okay, and I guess perhaps we'll talk a little bit more about the format, and we can do it over email about format and time
Yep.
limits, and then the interim chief, I suppose, is gonna want to also interview. How are we treating that? Is that in the same process or a different process?
So you'll have 3 people that will be brought before you. You'll know the people, I can't say the people yet because they have jobs currently.
Sure.
And they know, once they're part of an official interview process, then it's all out.
It's out there.
So,
Yep.
so I will be telling you who the 3 people are ahead of time, and you'll interview those people
In open session,
in open session, public session,
Public session.
except one thing, we can, and I spoke to Dana about this earlier, we can't have a virtual, it has to be just a physical meeting. Whether or not we decide after the interviews are conducted, then we want to open it live again, but we can't have someone on their phone in on somebody else's interview and watching and hearing the questions.
makes a lot of
and
sense.
The response,
Yep.
so. And actually, this building works out great
Yeah, it
because
does.
we can put, I'll have somebody, like Angie or somebody sit down here, so when you see somebody come in, you'll know what time they're coming in. I'm gonna do 30 minutes apart. Then you could bring them into a conference room and they can wait. Yeah, so I think 30 minutes, and if it goes over 30 minutes, we're still good. But,
Just wanted to comment about the questions, though, too. The questions that are asked, do we feel that they're for the benefit of the public so that they are hearing the answers? Or should we be asking them things that when you sat in on the assessments, you said, oh my God, I can't believe they're not being asked that?
no,
Is
they
there-
had
what-
amazing questions.
They did, okay, so you
Yes.
felt like they were covered
Oh, definitely.
in terms of, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
and are we coming in cold, having not seen the answer to those questions?
Well, they asked, the reason why I was like, wow, no, those questions are so good. They're the assessment center, so they're doing everything from like the tactical to the personnel to the management collaboration. So they hit, and I can talk to Jack of Paro Consulting and say, give us more questions along those lines, so we have a little bit of everything. But, I mean, we know the questions that were asked, and they covered
Okay.
all the bases, which is why I was very pleased with the entire interview process.
So let me go to process now. So we'll get together on June 8th.
Yeah.
We'll have 3 applicants they'll interview.
Mm-hmm.
What happens after June 8th?
You can either make a decision that night, or you could continue it if you wanted to see somebody.
But I
back,
think, I mean, just to be clear, I think we have 4 applicants, don't we? Or does 3 include, I'm assuming our interim chief is going to interview
3.
for it.
Neil.
Neil?
Well, he went
So-
through this process.
So, we contracted with an assessment center. I'm not saying Neil is not one of them, but I can't say at this point. No matter what, Neil did apply for this position.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I just can't tell you who the 3 are yet.
Oh, I understand.
Yes.
Thank you for the
Yeah.
clarity.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So.
But you will know before we enter the next meeting and you're interviewing them, you're gonna have, I'm gonna give you a copy of the results, what each one scored in what certain department, as in tactics or
Yeah.
personnel. So you'll have a little bit more information. We'll already agree on all of our questions, so we'll, have all of that. I'm gonna do 2 questions too, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, he said have around 12 questions, so that's perfect.
Jeff?
To your point, we should probably figure out how we want to do that then, right? Whether or not it's like one of these things, are we going to make a decision that night, or are we going to make a decision to make a decision?
Yeah,
We should know that prior to that,
Mm-hmm.
that date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm assuming all applicants will interview on that date, internal as well.
Yes, yep.
So we'll go,
And they all confirmed they can.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
Wow.
Would our question process follow something similar like you've gone through fairly recently with the select board, where we'll score, come up with an aggregate, submit those? Like, is there something like that? Or is it just kind of, hey, you got a gut feeling, you like their answers, you can make a decision?
It's up to you guys, and I can try to work on, well, actually, I think he might have had something that I could use.
Right, I'm just kind of wondering, how do we quantify
Yeah.
what we're hearing? And then,
That's great.
Yeah.
and then probably,
Yeah.
I mean, hey, somebody could knock it out of the park and we want to go that evening.
Yes,
As
yeah,
good as
yeah.
Steph was, we still took a few extra days to,
And I was like, oh my God.
yeah. So I think there probably should be some period where
Okay,
there's
a
some level of
scoring tab.
aggregation and scoring
Yes.
of the information.
Yeah, for sure.
We can review that in an open session, the aggregate.
Okay, so let's work, what will help me is if we get our questions together.
Right.
So let's work on that soon.
Right, even if it's a strength of answer, 1 through 5, it could be something as
Right.
simple as that.
Yeah,
you know?
that's
Is the
perfect.
consulting company gonna be part of the June 8th?
He will be here, but he wants it to be for you. He
Agreed.
will help us in whatever fashion, but,
If he has advice or formats he's used in the past, and
Okay.
I've used them in my professional career, where you do have a diverse group of people and you rate, and it isn't the answer necessarily, but it's a great way to ground the conversation, and it's nuanced, but with as many of us, we'll tease some consistencies out. But if he has a format that he thinks works and we could bucket our questions after we see what they are, if it makes sense, maybe that can help guide us, but I'm confident we can get through it either way.
yeah, yeah.
And then also, right, part of our town administrator process was you and other candidates meeting department heads. Is there anything similar like that scheduled or set up in some way? I mean,
No.
No, okay.
Because that's different. In a TA's position, they have to work with all of these departments, but I'm not saying a fire chief doesn't, of course they do, but they're predominantly going to be the head of that department.
Right, so, okay, so specific to that department, would there be any value in having the candidates meet with that department, or just the captains or the lieutenants, or and getting some level of feedback that could be sent to the select board? Similar to that.
You know what, let me talk to Jack about that and just get his feeling, because it could go either way, I'm thinking. So, yeah, let
Okay.
me,
Yeah, I'm curious what he thinks
yeah, I'm gonna ask him that.
Utility of that. Because frankly, in the experience I had, really only experience, right, hiring somebody on the level of yourself, right? I think there was value in the feedback we got from the folks that met with you and met with
Okay.
the other candidates. So I think if we could make room for that, I think that, especially if there'll be maybe an interview process with us and then some delay maybe to a next meeting, if that's something that could be worked out, if he thinks there's value to it.
Who are the people that the individual would meet with?
I mean, I don't,
Staff,
I
I'm
don't
not
know who
clear.
on the, yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know. My thought was,
The
Steph had met with department heads,
Yeah.
so the captains possibly. That's something that if he thinks there's value in it, you and him can maybe work out who that group is, and then we just get that feedback and we can utilize that feedback and take it for what it is. It's just an additional level of feedback that might help us guide us in our decision.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely ask him. He'll tell
Yeah.
me honestly what he thinks, but.
That's actually a very good point, because you think about it, rapport is huge.
Yes.
And, you know, somebody could have excellent qualifications, but if they are not a good fit for whatever personality, tone, just the way they, you know, they come off to that particular group, that can mean a lot. I think the captains is actually a good idea, those three.
Yep. And you all will get a good sense of that too, of course.
Wait, your point was that the candidates meet with other department heads.
Well, I was using that as the example. So when Steph interviewed for the
Yeah, yeah.
administrator job, her and other candidates met with the department heads and.
Top two.
Well, yeah, top two, but
Yeah.
candidates plural, right, including Steph. They met with the department heads, and then those department heads chose to provide feedback if they wanted to. And I found that feedback useful. My thought was just, you know, in the idea of this person's gonna be heading the fire department, gonna be the chief, that it would be good, I think, for us to solicit some input from the department. Now, probably can't meet with everybody, right?
From the fire department or other department?
Fire department.
Oh.
Fire the captains. for
Yeah.
example.
Could you ask if that's appropriate?
Well, I'm going to.
Yeah, there's a little
Like
bit of
in my
internal,
mind,
external, I
it can
get worried
go
about that.
either way, and I mean, he's seen this is his job, this is what he does, so
Yeah.
let's see if he'll give us the feedback, yeah, oh, many municipalities do that, or
Right,
no,
he may
you
say,
don't wanna
no,
do
here's
that."
the reasons
Right,
why you don't
right,
do that, or he may
Yeah.
say, no, you can, and here's a way to do it that's
Right.
constructive or fair. I think it's worth the question.
And
it's worth-
press on best practice.
Yes,
I mean, let's just make sure we
Yeah.
go in eyes wide open.
yeah,
Yeah. Mitch?
Thanks, Mitch Cohen, 12 Whitney Street. Another suggestion based upon the experience that the board had during your interview process, which obviously worked out really well. In that same situation, we had sort of an inside-outside person, the outgoing town administrator, do kind of the search. And one of the things the board wanted to make sure that we did at the time was to review the application packets of all of the candidates that were not moved forward to make sure that there wasn't somebody else that the board was particularly interested in or might have the opportunity to ask a question. So I strongly suggest that the board have that opportunity available and have some facility in place for bringing in a fourth candidate or even a fifth candidate if members of the board thought it would be appropriate. That's, I think there's a little bit too much expectation and trust placed in an outside organization to say, these are the only three we can interview. And the same held true with when the town used a search committee, a screening committee for the town administrator search back a few years ago, that the current board at that time had the opportunity to review anything. And it's your decision. You get to decide who to interview, and obviously you get to decide who to appoint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, Steph, I wanted, maybe sending all five would be interesting for us, even the ones that aren't being moved forward.
all five
Yeah.
is,
Just
do you
the
all agree?
information.
You do.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
oh, not for an interview?
Not for an interview,
Okay,
but
okay.
all-
Just-
just
Okay.
for us to familiarize ourselves with some of the qualifications, and
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
yeah.
good. It's a good recommendation.
And then, you know, it sounds like we've got some really great candidates, so that's a good thing. I know at some point in the process, there was concern about the amount of applicants that we were getting. What ended up being sort of the final search area? And then, do you know how many applicants did we get? And then who made it sort of through the different levels? Was like, were the 8 guys kind of past the phone screening and then whittled down to the 5 who got in for the in-person interview and then the 3 for the final interview?
It was 13, and then out of the 13, it got brought down to 8 because their resumes were impressive. And then it got brought down to 5.
And then we get the 3.
And then, yeah, and then the 5 went through the structured
The assessment
interview, then the assessment center, which he didn't have to move all 5 to the assessment center, but he's like, okay, they're within, but the way it was presented to me, 3 are clearly ahead of the other 2. So,
And that's internal and external bucket.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
So we have and 5 would mean we'd have 4 external, and 3 would mean we'd have 2 external
Sorry, I'm now
candidates,
confused.
external candidates. So if we go
Well,
with
she-
3, I'm trying to. No, I'm.
Yeah, I don't think we get to know that.
No, I understand.
Maybe the chair could later, but maybe.
No, none of this is sleight of hand. No, I just wanted to get a sense, I'm just trying to get my head around what to
So
expect.
when I give you the results, you're going to,
That's fine, we don't have to.
you're gonna understand better, how they scored. And the scoring wasn't like extreme, but being professional assessors, they know what to look for.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Understood, thanks.
yep.
I think we have public comment.
Susan?
I think we need a mobile microphone so you don't have to trudge all the way up.
Susan Sartori, 465 Green Street. The only time that I've ever hired as an elected official was for a superintendent of school a couple of times. And what usually happens at the school department level is that it's done internally with a group of people that does all the interviewing, looks at all the resumes, and then makes a recommendation to the school committee. What I suggest to you, I don't know if I heard it clearly enough tonight, that you get a packet of each and every person that's being brought forward to you, everything that this screening group has. The letters of recommendation. Letters of recommendation can be very, very enlightening at times, too. And then what the school department also does is they like to invite the applicants in the day of their interview to meet with teacher unions, parent groups, and then you get some feedback from that. So I think the idea of meeting with the captains is probably a very good one, if you can work it into the day's schedule. But I think the more feedback you can get, the better off you all will be. And thanks for doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
One final question, Steph. Are the 3 candidates being moved forward, have they gone through, if you can share, any level of like background check, or is that something that's done for the final? I don't remember.
No, I think that's already done.
That's already done.
Yeah, but I'm gonna check on that. I think he said all of that is done in the beginning, but let me check on that background.
I hope so, by now, otherwise it's a lot of wasted time.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, I know, that, it wouldn't make sense
would
to
be
me,
bad.
but,
Yeah.
Right, oops.
yeah.
But it's kind of, there's an expense with that, right? Doing background check and it's time.
Well, it
consuming.
was part of it.
Part of the package, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me see.
I will say many offers pending background check are customary in most job offers. So I would assume being accomplished enough to interview for this position, your background has been checked a lot.
Yeah.
And then we could finalize it based on the offer. If, to Julian's point, if we're concerned about wasting any money on it, it would, not to make it a formality, it's an important one, but the risk seems low.
And to tell you the truth, all of these assessors, this is the world they live in, and any news from the fire world, they know about it, so I'm sure, they would not have moved someone forward if
Yeah.
they
I bet
didn't
it's
have a
been done.
good reputation.
But
Right.
to the point, maybe we should do a background check prior to the offer of the one candidate we're gonna offer. I think we agree with that.
Yeah,
Yes,
if not
just-
before, though.
Well,
because-
that's the question. Do we background check a bunch of people or just say we're highly confident that this person will pass the background check? It's pending the background check when we make our offer.
Well, I think there's 2 things, right? One, has it already been done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
kind of curious
I'm gonna
what, if
ask
anything, has
about
been
Yeah,
done.
and then
Fair.
2,
And it might-
clearly,
Fair.
if it hasn't or some variation on it has been done prior to an offer, yeah, I would say that would be.
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
I bet it has been, that's my guess.
I would guess so, yeah.
Further discussion on the fire chief update?
Oh, no.
No?
Nope, we're just
Think
going
think we're
to,
clear?
yep, so do you want me to get a list of questions, and then you guys can go through them and?
Yeah, something to reference would be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd
Yep.
be awesome.
Yeah, I may just choose my own.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
But it'll be good to get my mind thinking about it. And
Mm-hmm.
we should target 2 per person and we can see how
That's
that
what he
works out.
said.
Yeah.
He So including me, so
Yeah,
that would be 12.
just, yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
Steph, reports.
Reports. May 12th, election, congratulations, Leslie and Jeff.
Thank you.
We had 1,809 votes cast at the election out of 12,115 registered voters, representing approximately 15% voter turnout. Daymian and her staff did an amazing job. I like the way they set up the rows, so it was, 4 precincts, and you had to leave one way, and you had to enter one way. But we definitely saw the state election is going to be a problem. It's gonna be a problem parking there, and it's gonna be a problem getting everybody in there. So we're brainstorming right now, whether or not we can utilize different rooms in the senior center and completely close it down, but then it's still the parking issue, so I don't know. We have to really brainstorm because it could be busy and.
What is the typical number of voters for
the state?
Yeah, for the state.
Oh, I wish she was here.
It's a big number, I think.
You could look it up.
I know it's a lot more
It's
than.
more
your
than,
local
in 1800
election.
is a good turnout.
Right, I know, yep.
Could you just elaborate a little more? When I went up, there was plenty of parking.
See, it's just during the rush times. It's like in the morning, and then at 2 o'clock it was busy, and then, of course, when people get out of work.
Okay, so did we run out of parking, or?
She said it was jam-packed, and then actually a police officer that was there called the chief, and he was like, oh my God, I can't believe this, it's packed here.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many parking spaces do we have there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like that's been asked before.
I know, me too. It was approved by the state as a polling location, and they thought that it would work. We could get it to work. I'm the only concern, I could get it to work as in separate rooms and moving people. I'm just concerned about the parking.
But we didn't offer early voting on this one.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
And we need numbers on when we do offer early voting, what percent?
Okay.
Take
And
advantage.
that's, for a local election, our bylaw stipulates that you vote on early voting, but in the state primaries and the state election, you don't have to, because you have to by law.
Okay,
Is
So,
there
yeah.
any reason we cannot just, why wouldn't we just institute early voting for every election for
Or why
Northborough
don't,
residents?
right, exactly,
And
just
let's
take it
clean
out
that
of
up.
the, yeah,
Yeah.
right, I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
Just do it.
it's silly.
Automatic.
So the state primary is August 22nd through the 28th, and the state election is October 17th through the 30th.
So if we're
So
gonna
we're
do
gonna hold the
something-
early voting.
Right, but if we're gonna possibly do something different, we need to come up with a solution.
Yeah, we're brainstorming that now, yeah. But it was good to get there and see how it, flowed anyway. And then the actual, that was for early voting, those dates. The state primary election is Tuesday, September 1st, and the general election will be Tuesday, November 3rd. Annual town meeting debrief and future planning. We already had a department head meeting. Oh, is it still on the chalkboard?
I took a picture of it.
Oh, good. So we had a ice cream party, like a week and a half after town meeting as a, good job, everyone. And so I had everyone write how we could make improvements for next year on the chalkboard. And we had a lot of great suggestions. I know we all spoke right after, and everyone had good, Mike had some good ideas about possibly doing videos instead of getting up there, and because then your time. I have 15 minutes, I'm gonna do, and then it's on and then, of course, if people have questions, the real person can get up and answer the questions, but.
Or an AI avatar.
Yeah, that will be really personable. Northborough's so personable. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. The town meeting information guide that the library put a lot of work into, so it had every single link that described every single article from different meetings Total visitors, 1,340. Total number of views, 1,740. So people looked at them a few times. People found the page from the library website, 663, the town website, 419, Facebook shares, 133, library newsletter, 120, web searches, 5, and then it's funny, most people use their phone over a laptop. And Kaylee gave me her numbers too, which were high for all of our articles by video, Northborough Media. So that data was really good to see, that people, they don't like to come in person, but they like to, listen to a podcast or listen, they can just play it in their car, so it's good. We've already begun future planning with capital. Jason and I are having a meeting tomorrow at 10. We're having a meeting with the school already, Becky and Greg, about capital items, and be picky and choosy, because we all know it's going to be a lean year.
That's great.
Donation bins, remember that was a issue at town meeting? So we tracked down that woman that was with her daughter, because she was sitting next to Erica Hall, and her name's Kerry Wolf. She was very pleasant, and it was neat to see her take on donation bins, which, we don't know much of. So anyway, we're working together. Amy Paretsky was there, Lori Connors, myself, and we went through the regulations that they proposed initially and made some revisions. So that'll come back to another meeting. Okay, you know that the town hall's closed. Departmental updates, library. Northborough Library received a regional national recognition for innovative program and community engagement initiatives. Yeah, they do a lot. Yeah, well, I can't read everything because it's so long. Health and Human Services, I have to read this. Excited to officially chair Isabella Caruso, the Director of Health and Human Services, graduated from UMass Amherst School of Public Health and Health Sciences with her PhD in epidemiology. She defended her dissertation in December, which examined endometriosis and future cancer risk of melanoma and colorectal cancer in the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences sister study. She also conducted a qualitative study exploring racial and ethnic barriers to endometriosis diagnosis. Isabella is looking forward to preparing these 3 manuscripts for publication. We couldn't be more proud of her. She's a doctor now.
Wow, nice.
It's amazing. Recreation completed its hiring for a summer camp program. It filled in 15 minutes, so that's a popular.
Wow.
Yep, let's see. Senior Center will host an open house on June 2nd. The Council on Aging is currently conducting a community survey as part of its strategic planning process, breakfast with department heads. I'll be there in June. Planning Department, the annual street tree planning initiative took place despite rainy weather conditions, resulting in 25 new trees. And thanks so much, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, DPW, Select Board members, Mitch Cohen. Is Mitch still there?
He just left.
Oh, sorry, Mitch, he was there. Yeah, so everyone helped. It was great. Upcoming planning initiatives, the Cell Town Balloon Tower test on May 19th, because there's a cell tower going up. So they put a balloon where the height of the tower would be so people can see it. So that's tomorrow. One Church Street appearing before the ZBA soon. A June 9th special planning board meeting for 17 Green Street involving a small subdivision and scenic road review. St. Gobain's Phase 1 gravel parking lot proposal is before the planning board. So what they're going to do, it will eventually be a gravel parking lot, but they're going to put all of their equipment while they work on the expansion, the addition. Veteran Services, the town thanks all the volunteers who assisted with placing flags throughout the cemeteries. I know some of you were there, thank you. Memorial Day ceremony will begin at the Civil War Monument at the corner of Monroe and Main, 11:30 a.m. on Memorial Day. The Building Department welcomed a new admin staff member, Kim Carter, who began May 11th. So we stole Jessica Dallas. So she's in our office where Linda was once, and she's working out great. So Kim is now at the building department. They filled that position. Fortunately, they would have killed us. Department of Public Works has posted a heavy equipment operator position. It's like somebody left, so they're filling it. The dog park will be closed to the public on Wednesday and Thursday, May 20th and 21st, to reset the gate post, correct a small drainage connection, and repair the fountain. It should only take a couple of days, weather permitting. Northborough Media Connection reported smart screens have been repaired and upgraded with HDM1 functionality with the senior center projector repairs very soon. The projects they're working on, a new Peasley School building series, which will be really great. Continued collaboration with Greater Boroughs and Encompass for the Health and Human Services Department. The fire station drone and time-lapse updates, and I think they're gonna try to do that with White Cliff so we can see how, it's really neat to see how it comes together. GIS welcomed a new assistant, Josh Mullaney. Of course, Jim left. You all know Jim. Jim left. He's exploring greener pastures.
He's in Arizona now.
He's in Arizona.
So sandy pasture.
Yeah, very
Browner
sandy.
pastures,
Red
Watch out
Rock.
for the spiders.
Yep. So he's working out great. And this is Kaylee's information. Mock town meeting had 74 views on YouTube. Annual town meeting night 1, 970 views on YouTube. Annual town meeting night 2, 559 views. Annual meeting night 3, 613 views. Yeah. And then there's a whole bunch of other data for just different budgets and articles and whatever. But yeah, that's all I have.
Thank you. Any reports around the table? Leslie?
Yeah, well, we covered a lot of things, so I don't really have to say too much, except that I'm happy I'm here. I'm pleased.
Well,
I'm glad to
we're
be
happy
sitting at the
you're here.
table. This is great.
Yes.
Thank you. So I just want to thank everyone who came out to vote and for approving the Z School debt exclusion. I think that that's important. That needed to happen. And getting MSBA involved and that whole process, fantastic. I also want to thank you guys and Daymian and Karen for all their work between town meeting and elections and so forth. And one thing I wanted to add about the senior center is with just one ingress and egress, that's bad. I mean, if there was an emergency, you'd have an ambulance probably going up over the grass.
Yeah.
If they had to, because of people coming in and out. So that's a concern that I had, realizing, watching people coming in to vote. We stood there for, 12 hours or whatever it was, realizing that, that's that's not ideal to have just one in out.
I know.
So, let's see. I also want to thank the DPW for all the plantings around town in anticipation of Memorial Day. I think that's great.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Looks beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And Mike and I were both at the Howard Street Cemetery. Mike brought 2 of his kids, placed flags on some of the veterans' graves. It was very, very nice. A lot of Boy Scouts and parents, and it's really very nice, veterans' families and so forth. And thank you for your comprehensive report. It's great. A lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
That ends my report.
Thank you. Jeff?
Just excited and happy to be here. Looking forward to working with and learning from all of you. That's my report for night 1.
Nice.
Nicely done.
Yes,
Julianne?
I just want to say welcome and congratulations, and looking forward to working with you too.
Yeah, no, I echo that. Great to have you guys here. Also, thank you to Laura Zeiton and Jacob Jones for, the work that they put in for a lot of tough decisions and a lot of long meetings over the past year. As far as committee stuff, the Peasley Building Committee has a meeting tomorrow night where we're going to be going over the aggregate scores of the building renovation options. So there's 9 of them. We scored them, they're aggregating them, and we'll be going over that. So that's at 7 o'clock through Zoom. I don't think that one has a physical location, so.
But they said this is the one you want to see.
Yeah.
Because.
This is, this will be, there's a lot of big decision points coming up this month and into June about sort of where this project is gonna go. So if you wanted to tune in to get a good handle on sort of where things are steering, this would be the one to tune into.
How would you characterize the engagement process so far?
No, I mean, I think the committee's got a good group. It's got a number of professionals on it, people who it's their business to build schools and build big projects, and construction project managers. So there's a lot of expertise on this committee, along with lay people like myself and a few others. So I think the committee overall is a good group, a good mix of stakeholders and frankly, people who are experts. And I'm confident we'll get to a project that not only will double down and continue the legacy of education in this town, because that's frankly part of the big reason Northborough is because of its school system and its education that it offers to its youngest residents. But we have to be able to pay for it. So that's the overarching theme, that we want to get the best we can for our students, but we also realize that there's fiscal realities to that. So.
Yep.
And then I think, yeah, you mentioned the flags, which was great. And then I think that concludes my reports.
Great, and I just want to echo a few things. Big congratulations to Leslie and Jeff. You guys earned it. It was really, so happy to be on the board with you and excited about things we can do this year. Want to recognize, Jacob and Laura. I thought we had a really good year last year, and we worked really hard. I'm really proud of what the board did last year and being able to do with controlling spend and White Cliffs, and we have a lot of hard stuff ahead of us too here, so I'm excited to get to work with that with this team. And then just a couple of things real quick. The Memorial Day Parade's the 25th. Is that
I
correct?
just
Is that
read it, yes.
Monday?
It is Monday.
Like from
Correct.
noon to 2 or so
11:30, we have to
to
meet.
line up?
Yep,
And then the parade starts at 12:30, I believe, so.
Monroe and
They're
Main.
gonna muster at 11:30 at Monroe Street,
And then it's an hour of muster and then go?
Yeah, remember last year, it took a little bit.
It took a little bit to get it
Yeah.
going.
Oh, so you're trying to be late. I see what you did.
No, it's time management. I mean, Julian's has seen me, the meeting starts when I walk in, it's like at 6:30.
Yeah.
Do we need a speaker for that, or is that covered?
Oh,
Usually
we
select
do
board
need
has a speaker.
Yep. And Mike did it last year.
Yeah, well, at the flag laying on Saturday, I did speak to Karen Brewster. She asked if I'd be willing to do it again, and I certainly would be. I'm not trying to say nobody else can do it, but I would be happy to do it again, so.
I think you did fantastic last year. It was really good. I just wanted to make sure we were covered and we talked about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Is, anyone else want to be a speaker?
No.
No. If you raise your hand.
Yes.
Remember, don't ever
Forget
threaten me
it.
with a microphone.
No, I've
Roll
done
call
enough of
vote.
that. I've done enough of that recently. Because I didn't know I was running, I made plans to be in DC, unfortunately, so I won't be at that either.
I'm
Just FYI.
I'm 50-50 for family obligation, but I'm going to try
Yeah.
to make it on
Yeah,
Monday.
I'm
I did it
bummed
last
about
Place
year.
the flags, though, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yes, yes.
I will be at the Revolution 250. I got my family to come to that one around that weekend.
Do you guys know if you'll be able to make the parade? or-
I'm out of town.
Okay,
I'll make it.
So you're out of town too, yeah?
I will be there.
cool,
Good.
all right.
Hopefully we'll have 3 of us.
Couple, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and obviously Stephanie.
Very rarely is everybody able to go to all the,
I know.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
hard, yeah.
Thank you. And I just thank you for, the confidence in enabling me to be chair, and I'm happy to work and listen and help Northborough be all it can be. So, thank you.
Awesome.
I left Angie out, by the way. Angie also has did a lot of work.
Yes.
I apologize.
Can't see.
Angie is doing everything. That's what I'm thinking.
I have just a
Oh,
quick
amazing, Andy.
question,
I think this
side
could be-
question.
oh, yeah.
Within our Zoom, do we use the transcription feature in there? Does it
For-
transcribe the meeting? So
Yes, does it? Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then when it goes on YouTube also, you can. do
Okay.
Sometimes it takes a few days for YouTube to catch up and do the
Yeah.
transcription.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes some don't notice that hasn't been transcribed yet,
Yeah.
so they reach out.
I'm just wondering if we can use that transcription and potentially put together some, I know we have the meeting minutes, but if there's a way we could potentially use the transcription, the recording, use some of the tools that are out there that are very easy to create almost a
Audio?
shorter, condensed version of the minutes,
Okay.
just a really quick bulleted highlights. That might be just a little bit easier for people to.
Yeah, we already started that.
Did ya?
Yeah, yes. I don't
Alright.
know who mentioned that to us, but.
Let me know. I'm happy to help
Yeah.
you with it.
Yeah.
I do this
You got it.
stuff at work all the time. We have not that we're getting any more software, but we have software that literally condenses meetings down into very specific buckets that we ask it to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that would be a great thing for us to be able to put out and publish. It's just a little easier to digest than.
Yeah. Do you know what the software is called? Just out of curiosity.
We use one called, oh God, you put me on the spot now. Hang
It's
on.
all right, you can get back to me.
It
I'm just curious.
is, hang on. Fathom that we
Fathom,
use.
okay.
Fathom use it. Zoom also has some native tools
Mhm.
that can do some of it. It's not as good as Fathom, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, like within our Zoom account, there might be some tools that we can use in there.
So I have a couple examples to show Steph and I from a couple, we use something called HeyGov for our meeting minutes.
Okay, cool.
Which is awesome.
Yep.
And then just regular AI stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll make sure you guys get those, and I just want to you can decide which version's best.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I just want to say, like, I live in Northborough, I work in Northborough, I love Northborough. I actually came to the library today to work, and it was pretty, I mean, Jen and her staff are amazing. They were so patient with me. I had to get printing done and stuff, but I was very impressed with the library, so I just wanted to give a shout out to the library
That's great.
staff. They were very patient with me upstairs. The amount of people that come in and out of here is, I didn't realize it. That's really, I might go work at the senior center tomorrow. I don't know. It's just really cool to see the amount of people and the different people that come here and really utilize it. So it was,
That's not a bad idea to go work in some of, and that's not a
Yeah.
bad idea to,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that's,
it was eye-opening, and I
Yeah.
talked to Jen after. I'm like, does that happen every day? And do you do
Yeah.
this? She's like, oh, we have this and that.
Yeah.
When my kids are older, and they were never really library kids, but there's so much going on. I feel like we missed out. Like I missed out with my kids. So
Yeah.
That's all.
Aw, better late than never type thing.
Thanks, Ange.
do I have a motion to adjourn?
No,
Oh,
still have
oh, sorry.
We have a public comment.
Thank you so much.
Schedule.
future agenda.
I jumped
Okay,
a
okay.
lot. Any public comment?
Okay.
None in the room? Anyone online? Any public comment?
Who else?
I don't know, John.
Did they say?
hands up.
Oh, sorry.
No public comment?
These need to be.
Future agenda items.
Yeah,
I thought you might have one, Joanne.
okay, so I have two things. So the
Does it
gate
matter
to
where I sign?
DPW and the new hours for
Do I
bringing
donate?
in yard waste
Or no?
is relatively new.
Yep.
I was
Do you want me to go
wondering
down,
if
like,
we could
fourth
get a
down?
report from,
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're having a little.
should I start again?
Yeah, let's,
Yeah, go ahead.
we'll restart. We're doing,
Okay.
future
so-
agenda items.
So the gate that's at the DPW now, where, hours are restricted to bring yard waste into DPW, I was wondering if we could get a report from the police chief, because they're helping to open and close, and I don't know if anybody else has gotten comments, but
I've gotten a lot.
Yeah, it's not popular with some people, so if we could, if it's working for the police, and they could help with Sunday hours, that'd be great.
Is that, so what, to clarify, are we opening the gate or closing the gate outside the publicly posted hours right now?
We have a schedule
I've
that
seen the
is,
gate closed.
of course you
No, I have two,
have.
but I'm not, wasn't clear to me that the police chief was working outside, or I knew someone was working outside those hours to open and close the gate.
Yeah. And you caught me off guard. I forget the hours, but,
Well, I think in general, if we just, have it as a topic of discussion, and also is DPW getting calls about, oh, I love it, or,
okay, Monday, 8 to 2, Tuesday, 8 to 7, Wednesday, 8 to 2, Thursday, 8 to 2, Friday, 8 to 2, Saturday, 8 to 4, Sunday closed.
And right now, it's currently staffed at no incremental cost to the town, just staffed based on the hours in which the DPW is, which is important to us. And then there was conversation regarding, should we consider having, in the example that Julianne gave, the police chief or some representative from the police department open and close the gate on Sunday, and I don't think that's
Aren't they doing
happened.
it on Saturday?
Saturday from 8 to 2.
The police
Oh, 8 to
open
4,
it?
8 to 4. No, I
And the
think
police
actually
close it.
DPW was there.
My understanding is DPW has been doing it on the posted hours, but I don't know.
They're there anyway.
That's my understanding.
Yeah.
Well, they're there half day on Saturday, right?
Well, it says 8 to 4, unless, well, let me check.
Well, we
on
can
that.
figure
Okay.
that.
I'm gonna.
We're the agenda topic, right? 'Cause we-
Okay, well, but
No, I
have-
think it's,
I have another
Yep.
topic
Rush
that I would like
hours.
to continue, and that's about town meeting, and very interesting emails from Mr. Swee about remote participation at town meeting. If it's gonna be a thing, I'd like Northborough to be one of them, to start remote participation at town meeting.
Yeah,
if we
so
can get
that's,
more
of course, has to
information
go
on that.
through legislature, and we'll, Concord has, and one other.
in Wayland, Concord and Wayland,
Wayland. Wait, is it Wayland? I thought it began with an M. Okay, maybe,
I believe it's Wayland.
okay. But, yeah,
So again, yeah, I think, and maybe offering a letter of support or something if we want to vote
Yeah.
on that as a board, and, but
Great
if we,
idea.
that's something we should certainly take up. And then a future agenda item as well is, make it so absentee ballots are part of our bylaws and we don't have to get approval every time.
right,
Yes.
yeah, and that's, yeah, we'll just add that onto the list to
Yes.
change, take it out of our bylaw.
Oh, yeah, and one more thing. So I sent the letter that you wrote to DPW about the condition of our ADA ramps at
Oh, yeah,
our sidewalks.
Mass DOT, yeah.
If you could get back to us on any response from them at our next meeting.
Okay, but you sent it? Or did I send it?
I think-
Oh, we sent it. You signed it and then we sent it?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I mailed it,
Okay.
I tracked, I'm sure they had it by now.
Okay, okay.
I'm sure they got it.
Yeah, we'll let you know as soon as we hear.
Great.
And then I was confused earlier, we were talking about the subcommittee, so liaisons, like last year we did the reorg, and then the next meeting we did liaisons.
Yes.
Or the next few meetings though are pretty busy,
Packed.
so we'll have to see, but I know last year, whoever came in and took over for whoever left, they just kind of adopted a lot of theirs, and then I think middle of the year, we kind of
No,
reorganized.
we did it
liaisons.
early.
Did we do it early?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, we
usually
did.
after the
So we'll
election.
put it, it'll be on the
We-
next.
We did it early, and I think let's trade emails and come up with a recommendation.
Yeah.
It was quick last time. I didn't think it
Yeah.
was a big exercise
Yeah,
when
yeah,
we did it
wasn't
last year.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any?
Motion to adjourn.
Here, a second.
I
Second.
second.
Roll call vote. Leslie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Joanne?
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Aye.
Good job, John. 10
Yeah,
o'clock.
10
This is
o'clock.
good.
Record.
Okay, 10's, that's
All right, so
That is-
there's,
correction.
there's the high water.
That is early.
Yeah. Okay, Steph,
Glad
question.
you re-